I'm going to be talking to you about the brand new Ford Focus. This is the new generation Ford Focus. The exterior design has been sculpted to create a shape that's both athletic and aerodynamic, much like myself. Not only does it look like a boss, but it's equipped with the new Ford Co-Pilot 360. It does everything from reading the speed signs ahead and adjusting your cruise control. There are up to 7 different driving modes, including normal, eco, sport, comfort, eco comfort, slippery and trail. So whatever the conditions, you can adjust, just like we have as a team. Auto beam will dim your headlights when it detects oncoming traffic, which stops you dazzling anyone else on the road. The blind spot uses radar sensors, so if there's a car in the blind spot, an orange light will display on your door mirror. There's no blind spots with us on the field. The new Ford Focus offers you in-car Wi-Fi with 4G, lets you start your engine from your phone, and tells your phone where you parked, which is great for when you're travelling around the country when you're supporting Limerick. A warm welcome awaits you today, just like I got in Lions of Limerick. Thank you for taking this time to watch this video. Please like and share and call into Lions of Limerick for a demo drive. # Lions supporting sport.
Well, I suppose the club draw is long-standing, and an awful lot of work has went in over the past to get us to the level that we're at the moment. We are a big member of the club over the county-wide. We would have over 400 members in the club draw, and we're proud of the efforts that have been made to get us to that number. Now, as regards day-to-day activities, I would be in charge of promoting the draw to a certain extent through word of mouth, through social media, and administrating over the draw as regards the finances and things like that. Well, as you probably heard from Jim there a while ago, there's an awful lot of Na Piarsaigh members that want to support the GAA. And they want to support their local club, and they just need measures and ways to be able to support the local club. And we see it in Na Piarsaigh as a very, very good way to support your local GAA club, because not only are you supporting your GAA club, you're also supporting your county team, albeit in a smaller way, and you're also supporting, you're also getting the benefit of getting huge prizes on a monthly basis. The 10 draws over the course of the 12 months, and the huge monthly cash prizes that can be won. And as Jim alluded to earlier, he was a previous 10,000 winner who won in the draw. I think it was in 2018. And obviously the club draw is changing now this year, and there'll be additional bonus prizes, which we feel is a very, very good addition to the draw for 2020. Absolutely. I mean, as I alluded to earlier, there has been huge efforts in the past through a lot of club members, too numerous to mention here. But I suppose one man that probably does deserve a mention is a man that drove the club draw for so long, and that was a man called Dan Hickey. He was synonymous with Na Piarsaigh. He did huge work both on and off the field with many teams, and was a huge driver for Na Piarsaigh of the club. And as we spoke about, the club draw is a huge fundraiser for the club on an annual basis. And I suppose Lord of Mercy and Dan, he would have been very proud to see the facilities that have developed as a result of those funds going back into the club today.
I suppose for me, when I graduated college, kind of work brought me away from Limerick and had to move county. So for me, it was a lovely opportunity to stay in touch with my local club, and it's nice to know that the club is benefiting from the membership and the county as well. So from that point of view, and it also was a link for me. You know, it kind of kept me in touch with what's going on locally, and that, especially when I was, 2 hours down the road. So yeah, it was a big thing for me. It is, of course, I was only thinking about it. Like, I suppose there's three parties that have won or are winning in my instance. Like, there's the club itself, and then it's great to know that that the county, that they're benefiting some bit as well. And obviously it's great to see the progression in county terms and things like that. And then for my own benefit, it made a big difference for me to come out on the winning end. So yeah, it's nice to know that everyone has sort of benefited a little bit from it. I like I said, initially when I got involved, I didn't realise actually that my local club was benefiting from it as well. And I think that's the big thing, that your own local club is benefiting from it, not just at county level as well. It's huge. And I'm talking about my own personal circumstances, especially for someone who's maybe not around as often as they'd like to be. It is a lovely link to the club. It's lovely when you look at the Twitter results when you're away from home or something, that you see that, even though you're not there, that you're not maybe supporting on the sidelines, well, maybe you're contributing in some other shape and form, So yeah, for anyone that's, thinking, I've certainly benefited from being part of the draw. Yeah, I suppose at the time, my wife and I, we were in the process of buying a house, so the chunk of money came in very, very helpful to us. I'd like to think that You know, we had budgeted well enough to not need it, but obviously a windfall like that was very, very helpful and made us sleep a little bit sounder at night, you know, during the whole process. So it was of enormous benefit to us at the time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Hi, I'm Mike Casey, Limerick Senior Hurler. I'm here today in Lions of Limerick Ford store. I'm going to be talking to you about the brand new Ford Focus. This is the new generation Ford Focus. The exterior design has been sculpted to create a shape that's both athletic and aerodynamic, much like myself. Not only does it look like a boss, but it's equipped with the new Ford Co-Pilot 360. It does everything from reading the speed signs ahead and adjusting your cruise control. There are up to 7 different driving modes, including normal, eco, sport, comfort, eco comfort, slippery and trail. So whatever the conditions, you can adjust, just like we have as a team. Auto beam will dim your headlights when it detects oncoming traffic, which stops you dazzling anyone else on the road. The blind spot uses radar sensors, so if there's a car in the blind spot, an orange light will display on your door mirror. There's no blind spots with us on the field. The new Ford Focus offers you in-car Wi-Fi with 4G, leaves you start your engine from your phone, and tells your phone where you parked, which is great for when you're travelling around the country when you're supporting Limerick. A warm welcome awaits you today, just like I got in Lions of Limerick. Thank you for taking this time to watch this video.
Good evening and
Please
welcome
like
to
and
the
share and
LIT
call into
Gaelic
Lions of
Grounds
Limerick for a demo
Lions of
drive.
Limerick Premier
Hashtag
Intermediate
Lions
Hurling
supporting
final
sport.
of 2020. Well, it's an unusual season, of that there is no doubt, but it's a final that I suppose a lot of people may have expected or may not have expected, depending on the colours that they wear over the course of the season. But its neighbours in effect, Mungret, St. Paul's and Kildimo Pallaskenry battling it out to get senior grade next season and become, of course, the coveted Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate champions. Valerie Wheeler alongside me in the commentary box this evening. Valerie, it's a smashing day for hurling.
Yeah, it really is, Liam. I mean, looking out, even coming in the heat, I think it was 18 or 19 degrees in the car coming in, and both teams would be delighted to be playing this. It's just such a pity you look around the Gaelic grounds this evening and have no one to fill the stands and to cheer them on. But hopefully on Tuesday we'll have good news from the J, whether we can, you know, shove in a few fans. But it's just such a pity looking out there to Limerick Stadium tonight. But look, hopefully everyone will enjoy watching the stream and watching their club play.
Pitch conditions absolutely perfect here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. The two teams have arrived. They're just going through a few formalities down beneath us here in the stand. Mungret over there, as I look at it, at what will be the City in goal, and Kildimo Pallaskenry behind us here at the Innes Road goal. Well, the conditions absolutely perfect for tonight's game. Earlier in the week we caught up with both camps as well as the sponsors, Lions of Limerick, at their showrooms earlier this week.
Fiona, I suppose, look, great to have Lions on board for this competition, and you know, you seem to have struck it lucky in that you've had the most competitive competition across all the grades with Limerick over the last few years, and one that generates huge interest.
It's absolutely fantastic to be associated with it again. To be fair, this competition, the intermediates, all about the community. So we're delighted because that really fits in with our brand, Lions of Limerick, and we're all about the community and helping out sport and organisations in any way that we can and giving back to our local community here. And to be honest, it helps that the matches are so much fun to watch, and everyone enjoys participating and being involved in it in a small way, to see the sportsmanship and I suppose the crack that everybody has together. It's absolutely fantastic.
And I noticed you said one thing there about giving back. In the current climate, when everybody's kind of really under strain commercially and all across the board, it's great to see organisations like yourselves still actively involved in this sort of sponsorship.
We're trying as much as is possible. It is difficult in this environment, but to be fair, we have a great team here. We're doing very well. The people of Limerick and the surrounds of Limerick support us very well, and we are giving back to the people who support us, and it's very important to us. It's very important to the brand, and it's a culture that's been in this organisation here forever, you know, and it really fits in very well with the culture of the GAA and the GAA in Limerick and all of that.
So, Mungret, Kildimo Pallaskenry in the final. Have you any vested interests or that you haven't declared as of yet?
Nothing at all now, to be honest. No, we've no shares in either now, but we just wish them well on the day. We hope it's a great day for sport. It's great to have it coverage, and hopefully there's loads of people looking in online. And best of luck to both teams, and hopefully it's as much fun as it was this time last year for this event, because it's extremely great fun on the day, and that's what sport is all about. So the very best of luck to both teams on the day.
Natal, I suppose, look, a very busy year for yourself, involved with two sides, but there's only focus on one this weekend.
Yeah, look, listen, it's great, look, personally to be involved, but look, it's all about Kildimo this weekend, also PIHC as well on Saturday evening, two big games, but look, I have to distinguish one between the other and give my focus to whenever I'm with each different team, just my focus to them, you know what I mean?
I suppose, look, everyone's going to ask the same question about learnings from the first game, the group match, very tight, only a point in it. Is that totally irrelevant, or did you go away and kind of go through it and kind of put that into your head? If we meet these down the line again, here's what we're looking at doing? Or
yeah, look, listen, Mungret are very well structured, very well coached. The first game, I suppose, we probably weren't ready for them. They were very, very well set up. Look, we played well, we had high work rate, but at the end of the day, look, they got the win, which was the most important thing on the night, and look, it kind of put us under a bit of pressure. So look, we have to bring our A game to beat Mungret. They're a very good side.
There was that kind of feeling watching the two of you play in that group match that, that people wouldn't be surprised if they saw the two of you meeting back again in the final. Hard to argue that these are the two best sides.
Yeah, look, listen, I suppose form speaks for everything, and we're both in the final. But look, if you look at both teams and how they played, I suppose Bruff, in fairness to them as well, or the other farm team as well, up to the semi-finals last week. But look, listen, we kind of accounted for them. So look, yeah, I'd agree with you that they're probably the two best teams in the competition.
Last year's final, going for a replay, and you kind of got the feeling from watching Kildimo last year that they didn't perform to the peak of their abilities, that they didn't, not saying that, not for want of effort, but they just didn't look 100% on the day. What learnings from that, or is it just something that you've parked and said, look, it's last year, it's not important, or did you learn from it, or have the squad learned?
I suppose I wasn't involved with the group last year, but I know from talking to the group and having various meetings and goal settings and stuff like that, look, it hurt. It hurt big time. When you ask them the question, why did it happen? There wasn't really an answer there. Look, they tried to play to the maximum. I suppose credit had to go to Blackrock as well. They didn't allow them to play, So look, listen, I suppose we have to learn from it and bring whatever learnings they got from it, bring it forward to Sunday evening.
The influence, I suppose, of the likes of Kyle and Cian Hayes, Barry O'Connell, massive players for any club at any level. Hugely important that those guys hit the ground running for you on Sunday.
Look, listen, I always say, like, your top players, if your top players perform, the rest will follow. And like in our top players at the moment would be, as you said, Barry and Kyle and Darren O'Connell, I suppose, who's on the county panel as well. And look, if they perform, if your big guns perform, normally the rest will follow, So they set the standard. Yeah,
and I suppose, look, we're not expecting you to give away the state secrets, but, where are Kildimo, or where do you think you're going to have to get it right to have a chance on Sunday?
We'll have to master everything that they're going to throw at us, To go back to one of your earlier questions about the last game, I suppose, it's going to count for nothing, trying to look at that game and predict what's going to happen. I said they're kind of two different teams now. Like, we're kind of playing differently, they're playing differently. Where is it going to be won and lost? I just think it's just down to desire and really work rate, on the night. I think the team that works the hardest will probably win.
And just to touch on something you said there about how you're playing differently, even despite it being a shortened season, you've still had that time to I suppose, to develop the style of play that you'd get even in the shortened campaign.
Yeah, look, I suppose the 3 weeks in between, I know the footballers are playing, but we got a lot of work in them 3 weeks as well, to work on our style of play, which helped an awful lot. So look, that's why where we focused on our development of how we wanted to play the game in them 3 weeks, because we couldn't really do much because we had the footballers involved as well every weekend, so it was just kind of doing as much as you could just to see where you could get with it,
And I suppose, look, the previous meeting with Kildimo Pallaskenry, extremely close game, nothing between it. Did you learn anything from that going forward?
Well, I suppose that, like, over the last 3 seasons we've played Kildimo in Ballybrown, and there's been nothing between the sides. A score, 2 scores, maybe 4 points at the very most, between the sides. So there's nothing actually between it. But looking back on the game that was played in July, I mean, it could have gone either way. I know Kildimo would have been disappointed, when we got our winning point, keeper pucked it out, final full-time whistle was blown, but we were very happy, to win our first match, get off to a winning start, especially when it's small groups,
Okay, we all know the nature of this season with a shortened campaign, and you know, the COVID restrictions. We're wondering if we'd ever have club hurling. How happy have you been with the commitment and the effort of the squad heretofore?
I suppose going back to April, probably early May, where no one really knew what was going to happen in midsummer or late summer, you know. But all you got to do is just keep preparing, you know. And that's look, we're no different to any club. Every club was the same during the lockdown, you know. Every player followed their own program devised for them, you know, and did their own work. I know at times, that it's difficult to actually train and work on your own. You know, you need somebody to push you all the time, you know. And I suppose the format when it was back in early July, when we did realise that the championship was going ahead, and it was a very quick turnaround, and you were there trying to organise 1 or 2 challenge matches in a very, very tight window, you know. So, but we weren't alone, you know. It was very difficult for every club at every level.
And finally, the game of the weekend, I suppose, how do you see it breaking down, or where are the key aspects where you think Mungret will have to perform?
You know, I suppose coming into a final, you can have the best laid plans, you know, best game plans, you know, but it's all on the day. I know it's a cliche, you know, but it is all on the day. You know, finals can take on a life of its own, you know, and it can come down to very tight margins. It could come down to a shootout between the free takers. But usually in finals, you know, and especially based on previous matches with Mungret and Kildimo, 3 tight matches, I maintain Sunday evening will be tight also. Lady luck, I think, will play a part.
Peter, I suppose, look, I know you've had a few injury niggles this season, but everything cleared up and looking forward to the weekend?
Yeah, everything cleared up on a personal level, yeah, everything good to go, and I think we're good as a group, so it's all about being fresh for Sunday, so I think we're almost there pretty much, yeah.
How much are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, it's hard to explain. Can't even really, you know, the chance, particularly after last year and stuff, the chance to get back there, and really looking forward to just taking to the pitch again, you know.
What, you know, obviously last year went to a replay, but you know, didn't come out the right side of it, but you kind of got the feeling watching Kildimo that, not for lack of effort, but it just didn't go right for you on both days. Had chances to close it out, maybe didn't. You know, what learnings did you take from that, and has it fueled the appetite to go one better this year?
Yeah, there's always a bit of fuel there when there's a bit of a motivation to go all the way, you know. You would be taking learnings from last year, all right, as regards handling the occasion and stuff like that, but again, you have to treat it like kind of 2 separate years, you know. Like, if we can't really be overly looking back at last year, trying to prepare for this final this year, you know. I just think it's really all about trying to handle the occasion, and again, like you said, it didn't really click last year, but you need a bit of luck to win anything. I think it's really going to come down to a small bit of luck, whoever gets it on Sunday evening.
Yeah, and I know you said about handling an occasion. It'll be an entirely different and eerie occasion. I remember the noise from the Blackrock Pallaskenry games last year in the Gaelic grounds. It was probably the best final across all the grades with regards to excitement. A different experience this weekend though.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit different, a little bit strange, all right. But I think a county final is a county final, you know. Again, you're trying to prepare for the game and treat it just as an individual game, like you're looking to do in your preparation. But I think once the ball is thrown in, the game is going to take a life of its own, and you're going to feel the support on the way to the game coming through both parishes. You're going to see flags up. I think you're going to feel the support naturally, but it's all about keeping your focus on the game at hand too, and I think that's what's going to happen when the ball is going to be thrown in, you know.
Not a puck of a ball between these sides in the group game out in Clorine earlier this year. What learnings did you take from that, apart from the fact that it's 2 well-matched sides?
Yeah, the big learning to take is come prepared. For us, it's going to be come with absolutely everything you have, because you're going to need every single bit of it if you want to get over the line on Sunday. And it's really just not to get carried away with the first game's result. Take again this game at its merit and just be ready to go on Sunday again.
Yeah, and I suppose since that defeat, you've built up quite a bit of momentum, and it is very hard to argue that you have the 2 best sides in this competition in the final.
I think, I've heard it from a lot of people, all right, that they were saying that once they'd seen the first game, that they kind of tipped that to be the final. I do think it's 2 very, very strong teams going into it, and like I said, I think it's going to come down to a small bit of luck, but again, it's whoever handles the occasion, it's whoever comes prepared, and I think we're both really looking forward to it.
I noticed you said it could come down to a small bit of luck, but where are Kildimo Pallaskenry going to have to get it right? Across the field or anywhere in particular?
Absolutely every single position. and that's not fobbing off the question. That's just really you're going to have to come with a level of intensity that you didn't come with in any of the previous games. You're going to have to get the small bit of luck. You're going to have everything right, and hopefully that'll be enough for whoever's going to come out on top on the day.
Yeah, and I suppose, look, this competition, this grade, the Premier Intermediate, extremely tight competition every year, and no different this year.
Yeah, definitely. Like 3 years ago, we'd have been in a relegation final, and for the last 2 years, then we were in the semi-final, and this year we've gone one step further on getting to the final. So you could find yourself at either end of it fairly easily. That all the teams can beat each other, and I think it adds to the competition.
Thoughts on captaining this side to such a big occasion?
Yeah, look, it's a massive honour for me. I was just thinking that the last time I played in the county final was 2012 in an under-16 final, and I was captain the same day, but we were beaten by an PIHC side, so hopefully it'll be a more positive result this time.
Yeah, and I was speaking to the manager there, Shawnee, earlier as well about the fact that this Mungret side, getting it so right with structures from underage all the way up and playing numbers, all that sort of stuff. It's a massive opportunity to deliver and take the club to, I suppose, the grade that everyone feels they should be playing at.
Definitely, yeah, and I think that we're blessed with a very good underage structure. We have massive numbers because of where we are situated. In the past 2 years, we've struggled with bringing those lads from under 16 and minor into the intermediate setup, but I think we've a special group. We've kept a lot of those lads, so I think that's the main reason for our success, is that we are keeping a lot of those young lads that are flourishing at underage level.
Yeah, and I suppose, look, hard to argue that we don't have that we do have the best two teams in this competition in the final, especially after the first match and seeing how close that was. You just got that inkling that you might be seeing each other again.
Yeah, I think so, and that was said on the day. Obviously, we were delighted to get over the line, having not played so well. But I think the thinking was that we would meet again, and whether it was a semi-final or a final, I think a lot of teams would have fancied ourselves and Kildimo in the final.
And looking ahead to the weekend, Kildimo, massive test.
Yeah, massive test, and look, they'll be deserved favourites. They've been very impressive in the group games. They were very impressive against a strong rough team. Compared to the results then that we've had, we've been winning as well, but we haven't been winning as handsomely as Kildimo have. So look, they'll be massive favourites, but we'll have a rattle and we'll see how we get on.
Anyway, I suppose if you look at this time of the year as we get towards finals in all the competitions, the Premier Intermediate has down the years been one of the most exciting and hard-fought competitions of any of the Limerick GA grades.
That's right. Last year's final in the Gaelic rounds went to a replay, and we had excellent winners in Blackrock, and Kildimo now, having been in last year's final, are back in the final again. They've been in shake-up for the last 2 or 3 years. They were beaten in semi-final in 2018. They were last year's final. Mungret have been in the shake-up as well for the last couple of years, and they've played each other, I think, the last 3 years in the group stages. I saw 2 of the games myself, and there's not more than a puck of a ball between them. It's a very, very tight championship, and I'd be looking forward to a very, very, very good final at the weekend.
Yeah, and I suppose, look, 2 kind of very young, up-and-coming clubs with young squads and lots of underage work going on in both of them as well. It'll be interesting and nice to see, and refreshing to see whichever one of the 2 of them heads up to senior grade next year.
Absolutely. Seen Mungret underage this year. They have a nice minor side. Same with Kildimo Pallaskenry. They're working very hard underage, and as I say, they're both young sides. And if we get anything like we've got in the last couple of years, it'll be a very interesting match.
And of course, look, it'd be wrong of us not to mention the sponsorship by Lions of Limerick for this competition. In such uncertain times for county boards across the country, crucial and very, very important, and very grateful to have such sponsors on.
I would just like to acknowledge the contribution of Lions of Limerick to the sponsorship of our Premier Intermediate Championship, and their continued sponsorship over the last couple of years. And while I'm at it, I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all our sponsors, be they sponsors of our senior hurling team, senior football teams, all our inter-county sides, and also all our other sponsors of our club championships, particularly in what we are going through some very difficult times at the moment, and I'd like to thank them for staying loyal to us at this time.
Hi guys, Niall here from Lions Volvo in Ballysimon Road, Limerick. Today I'm going to show you the stunning S60 R design. It comes with a wide range of features: the Tor LED headlights, 19-inch Or-Design alloy wheels. It's in a beautiful black. The interior comes with an Or-Design half leather interior. It comes in a lovely automatic transmission, 9-inch display, anti-whiplash seating, and a lot more safety features as well. We're open Monday to Saturday. Call us for an appointment on 061 439 555. Take care, guys.
So that's from the two camps, both Mungret St. Paul's and Kildimo Pallaskenry. It's a beautiful night for hurling, but let's remind ourselves how both teams have gotten to tonight's final.
Mungret advancing. The first shot of the game is the first point of the game. Kyle Hayes operating more or less at the edge of the square. Mungret, well, they didn't get her there, but this is Liam Griffin. Griffin off his left. He's a sharp shooter, and Liam. The puck out that Kildimo weren't set for, and Mungret. A moment to go. Will he get his first shot of the game? He will. Found loads of room there. Kyle Hayes in the mix there. Kyle Hayes gets it to hand. Good work by Kildimo. Middle to Liam Griffin, but he's unable to grasp it. And Niall Mulcahy. O'Connell to hand. A Hurley's fall to the ground. And Darren O'Connell on the field. Duff driving through the middle. Lays it off. And that's Niall Mulcahy. Keeps this one low. And Paul O'Brien is happy with that, says Mungret are level. Cahill Downs. Good pressure from O'Brien, the Mungret captain, but Cahill Downs. Owen O'Doherty comes around on the loop. No one picked him up. And the man they call Dockers splits the stick. A badly bottled up there. Lovely bit of play by Niall Mulcahy. Mulcahy looking for his third. That will be the best of the lot if it goes over. Gobbles up that loose ball again. Kyle Hayes through a tackle. Kyle Hayes. A couple of inches ahead of the 65 line. And the shouts of well done, Paulie, as he gives Mungret, I should say, lead in this. Just tailed back in and actually hit the post. Looked like it'd be going wide. Mopped up here by Brian O'Mara. Straight for Darren O'Connell. Gets it to hand O'Connell. Powerful runner now, O'Connell. O'Connell, he favours his left normally. What can you do from here? Back of the net! Exciting last 22 or 23 minutes. Kyle Hayes now. Hayes off the left. It's going to tail in. It's going to curl in. And Kyle Hayes snaps it up. Good work by Conor Staff to force the mistake. Kyle Hayes getting a chance to cut this one over the bar. It's going to go thereabouts. It's into the back of the net. Yes, Liam Harrington. He looks for the sticks. Liam Harrington. The roar from the Mungret. Again, Kyle Hayes. He seems to be everywhere this evening. Where one place he is on the ball right now. Kyle Hayes. Kyle Hayes back onto his favoured left, and a nod from one umpire. As we are a minute into stoppage time, 1:15, 1:16. And Sean Barry, a couple of tackles back to Duff, finds himself in space. Can he win it? And Duff does it! Rory Duff. 65 minutes and 24 seconds gone, I believe. 1:17, 1:16 in favour of Mungret. Rory Duff. He looks to have won it, and he has won it.
And we're underway here in Bruff, and it's going to be Glenroe who have it straight away. It's Jimmy Barry Murphy looking. There's no Mungret appealing. The ball could have been thrown. It's Liam Harrington with the first shot of the game here for Mungret St. Paul's. And Kelly, but was unable to get to the ball first, and Mungret come away with it. It's great work from Brian Barry, powering down over on that far side, unable to touch him there so much. Good work again from Brian Barry. That's a tough one to take. He goes for the shot, and an excellent score from Brian Barry. You're not going to see too many better scores than that. This work from Donald Kelly. Kelly does well, but good ball across from Harrington. There's time and space from Brendan Giltonan, and that's another stunning score from Mungret, straight over
close range.
Huge score in this context of this game. It's Glenroe now into a 2-point lead. Good running there done. A chance for Mungret. Rory Duff takes the pass after delivering it initially. Fine response from Mungret. Long ball down inside. It's Mungret that have the shot comes in. Their number 14 Michael Mullins puts one between the sides. In fact, it was almost delivered long, and now there's chance for Owen Mulcahy. He's already got 1 point a couple of minutes ago. Mulcahy goes high with this one. It's a good effort from Mulcahy, and that's an excellent score. The flick, and now it's Niall Mulcahy for Mungret St. Paul's. Mulcahy turns back on, gets the afterburners on, gets the shot on goal. Brilliant score from Niall Mulcahy. And one there though by Mungret. It's played inside, low one this time in, looking for Owen Mulcahy. Mulcahy wins it, and he's on the run. Good work from Owen Gallagher initially, but Owen Mulcahy still going. It's Niall Mulcahy with the shot, and it's Niall Mulcahy with a brilliant score for way back. We play. It's Conor O'Brien with a fine puck out, low one to Mulcahy, and Mulcahy with the shot. Is it over the bar? It certainly is. Brilliant work from Owen Mulcahy. But away comes Owen O'Doherty for Mungret St. Paul's, and it's Conor Helliwell running into space. He's got the time and space for Conor Helliwell. Is he going to shoot? He certainly is, and that's the leveller from Mungret St. Paul's.
At the minute.
And it's Walsh winning that loose one yet again from the silence. Dropped straight away. Shooting chance for Mungret here. It's their sub. The number 23 has got an excellent score. Water break only seconds away as this one comes from Conor O'Brien towards Paul O'Brien. Mulcahy has it. Mulcahy is again. Niall Mulcahy plays it back to Owen O'Doherty. Back to Paul O'Brien. O'Brien dummies Jimmy Barry Murphy and takes him on the right hand side. This will be some score from Paul O'Brien if he can get it. He's done exactly that by Darren McCarthy, but it's popped out of his hand, and Owen Doherty has it for Mungret St. Paul's. The pass goes initially to a Glenroe man, and it's a chance for Rory Duff. They're spraying it around, and they've got it to number 23. And it's this chance for
Conor Lennon.
It's a men back there from Glenroe's point of view. Maybe a needless pass. Owen O'Doherty leaving it to Michael Mullins, to Owen Mulcahy. Gives the pass away in the end to Michael Mullins. Mullins with a chance for his first shot of the game. And it's Mungret into a 3-point lead. Murphy for the first time in this game in the last few minutes.
65 or 6 minutes.
Just took that length of time. Off goes Niall Mulcahy. 37 minutes played here in the second half. It's to Michael Mullins. He's got one recently. Drops this one in. Does it have the legs? It certainly does. And that's Mungret into a 5-point lead. That's the clincher surely at this stage for Mungret St. Paul's. 22 points to 114. And that's full time here in Brough. It's victory for Mungret St. Paul's. They've avenged last year's defeat in the semi-final. They're through to play Kildimo Pallaskenry.
In that full back line, while the half back line sees the familiar face of
the Brown brothers involved, of course, in the start and finish of that one.
Well, Luke O'Keefe cuts this down, and Barry O'Connell has come into space. Second score of the after. Barry O'Connell, who doesn't deal with it that well, and it's Conor Staff who's come onto it now, and this is a great opportunity, and it is. They like it at the far, the opposite 65, heading towards the 45, gone to ground. Good tackle. And it's Graham Whelan giving a bit of space to Darren O'Connell, and that he will have to try and nullify, because when O'Connell gets space, using the break as Kyle Hayes, a bandage heavily strapped on that left foot, and Hayes comes across, and that's what
I seem to have picked up is that Tony McCarthy is picking up Paul Brown, and that has involved a switch of Barry O'Connell to midfield.
Well, this is a big deep ball in from Cahill Downs. It's broken inside. Paddy Hartigan's got a chance. He pulls in it gets past Eric Finn, and Paddy Hartigan got onto a break from Darren O'Connell, and a super touch from him.
Is why Kyle Hayes was Young Hurler of the Year in 2018.
And well, here's another very promising young hurler. It's Barry O'Connell, and Graham Whelan, but there's numbers as he strikes that up here, and it's Tony McCarthy across the field to the aforementioned Griffin. Off he's right. Does he like it? He does. Like I can tell you, they're all very important, as there's a massive shortage, and Jason is one that has persevered for the last number of years, and is quite competent, let me tell you, in taking a game, and that is a super score from Kyle Hayes. O'Leary, but again, it's a flood of bodies in there, and it's Kevin O'Connell who tidies well. Off to Kyle Hayes, has got an awful lot of time to see where the post was, in and over the crossbar of a shot at goal is going to find Darren O'Connell, and O'Connell is absolutely sublime from Kildimo Pallaskenry, and here he's on the ball again. I can tell you, and Brian Finn has got his arms full there as the ball is played back out to Sean Barry on his favoured right side, and Barry puts it in and puts it over the crossbar. Finn again very assured in that Brough goal as he comes forward, and it's trying to get Conor McInerney onto it, but it's Kyle Hayes whose helmet has opened, and he's played it in and over the head of Eric Finn, and that is a very good goal from Kyle Hayes.
Sitting from the front, nobody can accuse it of Kyle Hayes out there today. He's been absolutely in scintillating form.
Well, Rory Maher has continued his run. It's off to Darren O'Connell. There's another goal chance here. Flicks it with the hand. It's gone into the corner of the net. And it's just turned into a rout now. And it's Darren O'Connell who has got the latest goal, and within, playing it inside, but it's gone over the head of Cian Madden. And well, Sean Barry has the final piece of action here as he clears from the defence of his Kildimo Pallaskenry team. It's been an awesome display. We've said it from a long time out. It's the Kildimo Pallaskenry men, led by those twin towers of Kyle Hayes and Darren O'Connell, who have absolutely drawn a rout here in Kilmallock. It's them who lead themselves into a county final in very impressive fashion.
Now you're welcome back to the LIT Gaelic grounds, and well, it really is an absolutely beautiful evening for hurling ahead of this Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship final, and we're looking forward to what should be an absolutely cracking game. I'm joined here by Valerie Wheeler and John Keogh on commentary this evening. Val, we were talking to you earlier about conditions. John, you know all about the conditions. You were playing a match in this earlier.
I was, Liam, yeah.
I won't ask you the result.
We'll leave the result where it belongs at the moment, behind us all. Yeah, it's very, very warm out there. It's a glorious evening for hurling, though. And look, for the two teams that are in front of us in this Premier Intermediate final, it suits them down to the ground. So I'm expecting an absolute cracker tonight anyway.
Yeah, and we were saying a little earlier off air while we were listening to the highlights package and the two sets of teams as to how they got here. It's impossible to call this one tonight, Valerie.
No, I think it is. We were mentioning it off here, you know, both sides are so well matched, and even in the first round there was only a point between them, so I think both sides will be well fired up for tonight's occasion. I think nothing will separate them, and that's exactly what we all want tonight. I think for a county final you don't want any team to run away with it either. It'll be a great spectacle if it is tight. Okay, let's give you team news then ahead of tonight's final here of the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship, beginning with Mungret, who'll start with Conor O'Brien in goals, a full back line of Conor Flahive, Ronan Kirby and Barry O'Grady. Conor Hewell, Brian Barry and Liam Harrington are the half-back line, with Rory Duff and Owen O'Doherty at midfield. Michael Mullins, Cian O'Brien, who captains the side at centre forward, and Owen Mulcahy, and an inside forward line of Paul O'Brien, Pat Begley and Niall Mulcahy. Well, for Kildimo Pallaskenry, one change for them from the team programme that we have. John Chalk starts in goals for them. A full back line of Luke O'Keefe, Cian Hayes and Kevin O'Connell. Larkin O'Leary, Barry O'Connell and Cathal Downs are the half back line, with Tony McCarthy and Peter Nash at midfield. Sean Barry, Liam Griffin and Conor Staff are the half forward line, with Darren O'Connell wearing 13. In full forward is number 19, Paddy Hartigan, starts in place of Rory Maher, and Kyle Hayes, the captain, wears number 15 for Kildimo Pallaskenry this evening. John, we were talking off air about the experience perhaps of Kildimo Pallaskenry having been here at this very stage 12 months ago. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, Liam, look, they will have been very, very disappointed last year to have lost out to Blackrock, albeit after a replay. They didn't perform on either day. They're looking to the likes of Kyle Hayes, obviously, to lead them. The likes of Darren O'Connell, Barry O'Connell, Cian Hayes. Players with Limerick underage experience and senior experience now, obviously, with Darren making a bit of a breakthrough earlier on this year with Limerick. You know, Kildimo Pallaskenry, as you mentioned, have a ton of experience, but they're up against a Mungret St. Paul's side that have been coming for a long time. And of course, looking to get to the senior grade for the first time since 1989.
And that's the thing, Valerie, they've won, I won't say it all at underage level, Mungret. Well, they pretty much have the whole way up along. Someday it's going to have to come through to the top team, and they showed last week that they're certainly not afraid of anyone.
No, and they're not, and I think that's exactly what clubs want nowadays, is to have the talent coming right up through the ranks, and that's what Mungret have, as you mentioned. At some stage this is going to have to happen for them.
Well, we've our rendezvous. Well, it's a strange feeling of that, there is no doubt. It's County Premier Intermediate Hurling final day. Nobody here bar the two teams and a handful of mentors for either side. It is a very, very strange experience on County Hurling final day. We're hoping it's the last weekend of it. The government, I suppose, will have a lot to say about that in the coming days, but it doesn't really matter for both Kildimo Pallaskenry and Mungret St. Paul's. One of them will be crowned champions in a year, Valerie, they'll never forget.
Yeah, no, a year you'll never forget is right. I think, you know, the three of us are very privileged to be here tonight, I think, behind closed doors, and, you know, to have family members and mums and dads and brothers and sisters sitting at home must be very difficult, because nothing beats being here, Liam, to be honest.
Well, it's a beautiful evening here in terms of sunshine. It's nice and warm. There's a slight breeze blowing down the field. It's blowing left to right as we watch it here. So it's blowing from the Ennisroe goal down into the City goal in the opening half. And Mungret will be favoured by that breeze in the opening 30 minutes. The referee is John O'Halloran. He's from the club of Brewery. He's out in the centre of the field. He's linesmen just making sure everybody is outside the 265s. Valerie, who's going to win it?
Oh, it's so tight to call, but I think I'm going to go to Kildimo.
John?
I'm going to go the opposite, Liam, same Mungret. I just think it's their time to break through, but it's a toss of a coin, really, isn't it?
I'll go for extra time. Off we go. One of us is going to be right before the end of the night. As straight away, Mungret St. Paul's win possession of this one back in their own half back line, and it's Brian Barry who has it. He's dispossessed those. Kildimo Pallaskenry run forward that one. The referee has spotted a foul inside there. This is going to be a free in. The free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and an opportunity for them. And straight away, it was Kyle Hayes getting a taste of the action. He's going to play a big part in this, John.
Huge part to play, Liam, you know, and just from Kildimo Pallaskenry's point of view, it's fantastic to see Kyle right into it from them. He struggled in the finals last year. They'll need him to be on top form today.
Here comes the free then, first one of the evening for Liam Griffin, and he struck it left and wide, and that is a poor wide. I think we all had it written down as a point inside the opening minute, but that's a very disappointing wide, Valerie.
No, it is, and I think, you know, of the position he was in and everything, I think everyone expected that to be over, and it just wasn't. It's not good enough for a county final day.
Mullins win possession of this one, lays this one across the centre, but it's picked up there and brought forward. Connor Staff dropping it into the hands of the goalkeeper, who just bats it away now. Out comes Ronan Kirby, favoured to get to it, beaten to it on this occasion by Kildimo Pallaskenry. Referee was watching closely and said that Darren O'Connell was fouled. It's going to be a free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry. This one dead straight in front of the posts, and if the first one was easy, Liam Griffin will certainly fancy his chances, John, of getting the first point of the night from this one.
He'll be hoping, Liam, he got the nervous one out of the way, 30 metres out, straight in front. You couldn't wish for an easier one, but nothing's easy on county final day.
Certainly not, as Liam Griffin lines this one up just on the edge of the semicircle. Sun in the eyes of referee John O'Halloran as he watches this one. This is high, struck well and struck confidently right between the uprights. First score of the county final goes the way of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and last year's beaten finalists are off the mark as the puck out is sent down that far side of the field. Good belt of a puck, it has to be said. Niall Mulcahy picks this one up down that far side, goes on a run on towards the 13, looks up for the option, takes the shot, sends it in and sends it over the crossbar. Perfect response from a Mungret St. Paul's point of view. Niall Mulcahy with the levelling point. The lead didn't last long, Valerie.
No, it didn't, and as you mentioned, it is a lovely response, and he was quick to get the ball, and that, to be honest, I thought he was going for the goal the way he was running in there, but he took his point in the end.
John Chalk's puck out, batted down by Kyle Hayes, but it's picked up back there by Mungret St. Paul's, and Liam Harrington towards that far side of the field plays it forward in towards Pat Begley. The big man at 14 was pushed on the back, says the referee. That's going to be a free in, and an opportunity here for Mungret to take the lead pretty much straight away in what would be a very, very swift response from their point of view, and an opportunity here from that far side, and it's Paul O'Brien who's going to line this free up, test the breeze, blowing slightly here in the Gaelic grounds this evening as he picks this one and strikes it in and sends it over the crossbar, and Mungret go into the lead 2-1. Paul O'Brien with Mungret's second point, John.
Yeah, just interesting to see there, Liam Pat Begley winning that one. He came off early in the second half last weekend in the semi-final. Can be a huge player for Mungret if he's fit, but has struggled with injuries this season.
John Chalk's puck out, sent down the centre, picked up down there by Darren O'Connell, was going forward. The referee has said a challenge around the neck. It's going to be a free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and an opportunity pretty much instantly for them to respond and draw the game level again. And It's going to be Liam Griffin who's going to take this one again. 1 point and 1 wide to his name so far. And here is the opportunity now for Liam Griffin. Just level, as you can see, with the left-hand upright as we watch it here. As Griffin stands over this one, picks it and strikes it into the Ennis Road terrace. We're level again, 2 points apiece, Valerie.
Yeah, I know, and I think it's going to be like this for the rest of the game, to be honest, Liam. This tit for tat, point for point. And you know what, just a few minutes ago when you saw Darren O'Connell winning that free, you could see he was really hyped up for this game.
Puck out, sent down this near side of the field. It beats over the head of everybody, and winning possession of it there is Mungret St. Paul's, and they've won a free down there as well. A referee has said that Owen Mulcahy was fouled. It's going to be a free, and well, he's picked up a bit of an injury as well from that.
Yeah, Liam, just early stages here. John O'Halloran having to blow the whistle a lot. He's been right with every single one of them from what I can see, so it's not his fault. It's a stop-start game, but you know, both teams sticking very tight to each other. They don't want to give a yard either way at the moment.
You'd expect that though in a county final, as both sides begin to feel each other out, I suppose, and just get the nerves out of the way, Valerie.
Yeah, no, I think they're settling well, the two sides. I don't think I know Liam had a kind of a rocky start there, but he's after getting his 2 scores after that, and so are Mungret, and here's another chance now for Paul O'Brien.
Paul O'Brien, normally fairly accurate from a free, looking to line this one up. Looks at the target, strikes it into the city and terrace. We're right behind it, and that is a super point from Paul O'Brien. He's unerring in free taking down through the last couple of seasons for Mungret St. Paul's, and he's certainly the go-to man, and he started well here as they lead by 1, 3 points to 2. Puck out, sent right out over this near stand sideline. The thumbs up there from Liam Harrington saying to, or from I should say Cathal Downs, saying to John Chalk that the idea was right, just a little bit too much on the execution. Line ball going in favour of Mungret. Free takers will be important tonight, John.
Hugely important, Liam, and Paul O'Brien, as you mentioned, is one of the best around at any level. Done it for Limerick all the way through underage. He's done it for Mungret St. Paul's at this level for the last 3 or 4 as well. And Liam Griffin equally on the other side, vitally important.
Niall Mulcahy picks this one up and pops the pass as far as O'Brien got a touch to it across the centre. The referee has said there was a pull back there as the ball was being released, so he was playing the advantage. There was none forthcoming, so it's going to be a free. The free going in favour of Mungret, and this one about 25 yards out from goal, and an opportunity for the club just on the outskirts of Limerick City. I was going to say the City Club, but of course both city clubs in terms of divisions, but this is going to be an opportunity here now for Mungret St. Paul's to extend their lead still further. 3-2 at the moment, and Paul O'Brien stands over this one, looking to strike this one into the terrace to our right hand side. Picks it, strikes it well, and it goes between the uprights. Good so far. Double scores, 4 points to 2. Mungret St. Paul's just settled the better, Valerie.
No, yeah, they are, and I think that's a lovely third score for Paul O'Brien, you know, as well. And they have seemed to settle quite well. Look at them even winning their puck outs as well.
Puck out down that far side of the field, won by Rory Duff, under a bit of pressure towards that far side. He's coughed up possession of it, and Kildimo Pallaskenry picked this one up, playing this ball forward inside, but back there to win possession of it goes Conor Hewell. Ends up in his hands and knees under pressure from Kyle Hayes. Hayes has possession of it, under pressure. Kyle Hayes gets the shot away and puts it between the uprights, and that's what Kyle Hayes can do. He gets a super point for Kildimo Pallaskenry. It seems like they've quite a lot of support here in the LIT Gaelic grounds. 4 points to 3.
Yeah, it's 2 possessions for Kyle now, Liam. A point and a free earned. Kildimo Pallaskenry simply just get more of the ball as Pat Begley makes a great catch from the puck out.
What a take from Pat Begley from the puck out. One and laid back as far as the captain, Cian O'Brien, plays this one into space on the far side. Nobody at home at all, though, from a Mungret St. Paul's point of view. They'll be disappointed with that, as it's picked up by Tony McCarthy. Plays this one forward over the head there of Barry O'Connell, who was trying to win possession of it. Instead it's Mungret again who have it. In goes Begley again, trying to win possession of it. Gathers it on this occasion, sets off on a run, gets the hand pass away towards Owen Mulcahy, near stand side of the field, under a bit of pressure, looks up for the option, still in possession of it. 2 Kildimo Pallaskenry players around him. Natal O'Grady beneath us, absolutely disgusted. He thought that there was a few too many steps by the Mungret St. Paul's man, but the referee John O'Halloran has given a free in, this one going in favour of Mungret St. Paul's, and an opportunity yet again for Paul O'Brien to extend the lead back to 2 again. And it's one of those kind of games where every tight margin is going to be huge tonight, Valerie.
Yeah, and I think they're going to have to take their chances as well. I know this is another big, huge chance for Paul, and this is another opportunity for him to get his name on the scoreboard for the 4th time tonight.
So here it comes. Paul O'Brien midway between the 45, or what would be the 45, pretty much on the 45-yard line if it were to be painted on, maybe about 5 away from it as he strikes this one in. The result is, as you would expect, between the uprights, and Paul O'Brien gets another one from Mungret St. Paul's, and they extend their lead back to 2 again, 5 points to 3. 2-point lead for the men wearing red as the puck out from Chalk again goes down the centre of the field. Mungret just seem to be first to everything at the moment and playing this one towards Pat Begley, who does well to keep this one in play in front of the uncovered stand side here. The LIT Gaelic Grounds tries to get the hand pass away, eventually wins back possession of it himself. He's got support on his shoulder if he finds Rory Duff. He goes for it from that far side. It struck him, but it goes to the right hand side and wide. Bit of a hit and hope in the end, but first wide, I think, of the night from a Mungret point of view. 5 points to 3 they lead.
Yeah, but it's very good play from Mungret. Okay, the finish wasn't there on that occasion. It is noticeable to see that they are giving Pat Begley as much ball as possible as Kildimo Pallaskenry come back with
Barry O'Connell striking this one in, but it goes to the left hand side and wide. Another wide for them. Interesting to see Kildimo Pallaskenry using very tight to both sidelines. On a couple of occasions on this near side, the puck out has gone out over the sideline, and again that ball was won very tight to that far sideline.
Yeah, I know, and especially after maybe the first mistake, you'd be wondering why they're gone so close to the line as well. But Mungret are blocking down their puck out, so maybe they're just trying to do something different.
Referee says that was picked off the ground there. I thought that was harsh on Rory Duff. I thought it bounced into his hand, but referee John O'Halloran an awful lot closer to it than we were, John, but I think that bounced into his hand.
Yeah, maybe a bit too close to it, Liam, too close to the action. He just couldn't get it quite, but definitely was on the hop, and a harsh one against Rory Duff there.
But an opportunity for Liam Griffin to reduce the gap to just a single solitary point, well inside his own half as he picks this one and strikes it from a distance. It's going to drop though to the right hand side and wide. Disappointing wide from Kildimo Pallaskenry again. The wides count mounting even at this early stage from their point of view as play to resume with this puck out from Conor O'Brien. Sends it near side of the field. Up goes the hurley down beneath us of Michael Mullins. Breaks it down, but it's picked up the breaking ball by Peter Nash. Under pressure, gets the ball away, but might come back to him again. Instead goes Tony McCarthy, away from him, but picked up and brought clear by Luke O'Keefe. Launches this ball towards this near side of the field. Kildimo Pallaskenry gather possession of it now with Cahill Downs. Looks up for the option. That option is Shane Barry. Barry striking this one from a long way out. The umpire likes it. Goes for the white flag, and that's a super score for Shane Barry and a super one for them. They're back to within 1, and that a much needed score from play, Valerie.
Yeah, much needed score from play. I think at this stage, you want to be looking at options out there, and at least he didn't panic and he did have a look up and was able to take it in the end to get the score.
Conor O'Brien's puck out, sent long down the centre of the field. The breaking ball, Luke O'Keefe bats it down. It's picked up and struck in there from Niall Mulcahy. The umpire though said it's gone to the right hand side and wide. Another wide for Mungret St. Paul's, who lead by 5 points to 4 inside the opening 11 minutes of the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship. Kyle Hayes breaks the ball down, won't win possession of the breaking one because Michael Mullins has it. The referee has said Mullins was fouled. It's going to be a free going in favour of Mungret. Kildimo Pallaskenry manager Natal O'Grady just reckons that the hurley was being held of Kyle Hayes as he went up to win possession of it, the referee having none of it. Natal O'Grady of course would have been bitterly disappointed with the game last evening. He's Patrick's Wells side falling at the hands of Na Piarsaigh in the county semi-final, senior semi-final. He'll be hoping for a better night tonight. He's not happy with the referee, John.
No, he's saying Kyle's hurley was tapped as he went up to catch that one. It wasn't spotted by John O'Halloran. Can't expect him to see everything in. It's not possible for him to do so. But another chance for Paul O'Brien, and he can score him from this distance as well.
So here it comes from Paul O'Brien. He's a long way out inside his own 65-yard line. He's hit it a fair flake of the ball. It has the distance, but accuracy. And I suppose that's the danger, Valerie, when you're that far out, when you're going to get the distance, you lose a bit of accuracy.
Yeah, you do, and I think a lot of pressure's on him as well. I think everyone expects him to get these scores. Even John, you mentioned that he can score from that distance, so when a lot is expected of you, sometimes it's hard when you don't deliver.
Barry O'Connell has struck that one in and over the crossbar. Point for Kildimo Pallaskenry, and it's the levelling score. We're level at 5 points apiece, 13 and a half minutes into the opening half of this Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Final for 2020. Very little to separate the two sides as we thought there was going to be, John.
Exactly as we thought, Liam. It's the third time they've been level in 14 minutes now. Just very, very tight on both sides, very evenly matched. and we're just seeing a fine score from Barry O'Connell, who's operating around midfield, centre forward area, and he's a big player for Kildimo Pallaskenry.
Ball with Mungret St. Paul's as they switch wings towards this near side of the field. The danger man inside there was Pat Begley, just beaten to it on this occasion, and it's Cathal Downs who comes away with it for Kildimo Pallaskenry. Couldn't get it cleanly into the hand. It might still work out for them over there, but it's Paul O'Brien who picks this one up for Mungret, tight to the sideline, sends in the effort. It's blocked down and going to go out for a 65 across on that far side of the field. And this is going to be an opportunity for Mungret. I suppose they'll be happy enough to take a 65 as opposed to a wide, no doubt about that, because Paul O'Brien has this opportunity now to put them back into the lead again.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I think instead of a wide, I think I'd take 65 any day as well. Not that I'd be able to score it, Liam, but I'd definitely take it.
Give it a go.
Yeah, I'd give it a go at this stage, but definitely it's a big opportunity for Paul now.
So Paul O'Brien going to line this one up. Linesman on the far side, John Sexton, just telling him the exact location as to where, or Mike Sexton I should say, the exact location as to where to put the slitter. And it's Paul O'Brien who's going to strike this one from that far side in front of the uncovered stand side. O'Brien has struck that one in, but well, we're a bit too lavish with the praise perhaps. He's human after all. He sends it to the left hand side and wide.
Yeah, I'd be very, very disappointed with that one. The one before that, Liam, in front of us here in the Mackey stand, okay, fair distance, bit of a patch shot. 65s from that angle should be bread and butter for Paul O'Brien. He'll be livid with himself. But look, first quarter over in the new regime of time and water breaks and everything like that. So just as we expected, 5 points apiece and as tight as we're going to see.
Yeah, as we hit the water break, both sides head towards their respective locations. You see Mungret St. Paul's there just coming to our right hand side. You see them in shot there, just gathering in a huddle. Interesting to note, they were here about 20 past 6 togged out. They were all in a big semicircle there, just pretty much where they are. They were in a circle. They were having a team talk at 20 past 6 this evening in the beautiful sunshine. They were here early. Kildimo Pallaskenry were just going through their bit, Valerie, down in the shade down beneath us. I wonder on an evening like this evening, will that tell its toll?
Yeah, do you know what? We did stare down at them when Mungret were out in the huddle, and that says a lot about a team as well. You know, you can see that maybe what they've spoke about beforehand and how much hype that they bring to today's game. They obviously wanted to build it up and make it big in that huddle down there. But as you can see, like both two teams, you can see why these both two teams are in the final, and it is extremely tight. And you'd nearly be afraid that I called it earlier on in the game, because who knows what's going to happen at this stage.
So level at 5 points apiece. Referee just wants them both to break from the water break. John Keogh's had his water break as well. He's back refreshed, ready for the second quarter of this game. And well, it's everything we expected it to be. It has turned out that way so far, John.
Yeah, it is, Liam. I needed that water break after all the running we've done up here in the commentary box. Look, it's going to be very, very wet, or very, very difficult in this heat to sustain it for 60 minutes. So obviously the bench could be huge. And again, from Mungret's point of view, Kildimo Pallaskenry had a fairly routine victory over Bruff. Mungret St. Paul's used their bench to very good effect last weekend in their victory over Glenroe, and may have to do so again.
So play to resume. After the water break, it's going to be a puck out from John Chalk from the resulting wide just before the water break for Mungret St. Paul. So play to resume with the puck out. Referee happy enough, John O'Halloran, that the stopwatches have both been restarted now. And play resumes with that puck out right down the centre of the field, all on his own. Sean Barry peeled away from his man, lays this one back now as far as Peter Nash, under a bit of pressure as he tries to gather the ball into his hand. Does it the second attempt as Nash comes forward towards the 65, on towards the attacking 65. He's been left going off a long way, gets the hand pass inside now, well gathered in there, peeling off on this near side was Cathal Down, screaming for it. It's Kyle Hayes that has it. Hayes plays this one across the centre to Nash, who continued his run onto the edge of the semicircle. Can't win possession of it though, and instead it's Ronan Kirby from Mungret. Gets the hand pass away to Conor Flahive, under a bit of pressure, well blocked down near side of the field, and it's won by Cathal Downs. Downs picks this one up. He was there for an awful long time looking for it, but he sent it to the left hand side and wide. Another wide for Kildimo Pallaskenry, but Cathal Downs was looking for that slitter for a long time, Valerie.
Yeah, he was, and you know what, it shows determination that he kept going. Like he really wanted to get his hand. I know he didn't finish really, but he was determined to get that slitter back, and he did.
18 and a bit minutes played here as the puck out sent down this near side of the field, and what is a beautiful summer's evening as we hit September in the month here for the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Championship Final. And here's an opportunity for Mungret as they strike this one from Eoin Mulcahy, but it just goes to the right hand side and wide. Slight bit off balance as he struck it, John, but right and wide.
Yeah, he was under pressure as well, Liam. Good defending as well from Kildimo Pallaskenry. In a final like these, they're the ones you want to be going over the bar as well, and they kind of need to too.
Slack from both sides now as Larkin O'Leary gave it to Liam Harrington. Harrington inside now, and here's an opportunity as Mungret come forward. This one onto the edge of the semicircle. Miss hit. John Chalk, the sun very much in his eyes as he gathers possession of that one. Looks up, not under any pressure at all. He comes as far as the 21 and then decides to go for the long puck down the centre of the field. Natal O'Grady absolutely disgusted because, in fairness, the helmet of Darren O'Connell was ripped off him. Referee hasn't spotted it though, and the ball is played forward now. And Mungret have possession of it as they come near side. Screaming for it down here beneath us is Michael Mullins. Won't get it on this occasion as it's brought clear as far as the 65-yard line in the shape of Rory Duff. Still in possession of it as Duff gets the hand pass away, and now Mungret St. Paul's look to launch this one forward on towards the 21-yard line. It breaks in there to win possession of it. Paul O'Brien does well to get it into the hand. He's got support from Niall Mulcahy back here. Goes for the glory himself, but it goes to the left hand side and wide. Might have been better to lay it back to Niall Mulcahy, John, who was screaming for it at a better angle.
Yeah, he was. Niall Mulcahy wide open. They're looking for the pass. But if Paul O'Brien's going to fancy it, Liam, he's going to go for it, but definitely on that occasion should have given the pass away.
Brian Barry collects possession of the puck out. Mungret winning most of the puck outs now that Kildimo Pallaskenry have as Pat Begley breaks this one down. Peter Nash and they're trying to win possession of it. Begley has done well to recover and lay it back as far as Niall Mulcahy. Mulcahy now towards Rory Duff. Duff looks up and plays this one 60 yards out from goal. The umpires have a look at it, and so does John Chalk, who brings it down. Has a bit of time. He'll be glad with that one on the edge of the small square. Launches this ball back down the field. Shouldering going on off the ball, but it's into the hand there of Darren O'Connell. Gets it across the centre. Brilliant block down inside there by Conor Flahive. In fairness, that ball looked as though it might have been destined for goal. Goalkeeper blocked down by in there to win possession of it is Paddy Hartigan. Lays this one back now as far as Cathal Downs. Downs heading towards the 21. Still going Downs. Well hooked as he tried to get the shot away, and the ball eventually is poked out for a 65. There could have been a number of goal scoring chances there, John.
Yeah, there could have been. It was Conor Staff again who's fighting tooth and nail for every time he comes up out of wing back to get the ball. He's brilliantly blocked by Conor Flahive in the first occasion when he went for goal. Got the ball back 10 seconds later and Conor Flahive was in again. Mungret then having to settle just to put it out and get rid of the danger for a 65.
5 points apiece, Valerie. You'd feel though the first goal in this game is going to be absolutely huge.
It will be huge, and I think both sides are absolutely itching to get one. You know, you'd see from all those hooks and blocks there that Kildimo were absolutely determined to try and get one, but Mungret weren't allowing them.
There's an injury down here. I think it might be Paddy Hartigan, I think, is it, that's receiving treatment just away to... No, it's Kyle Hayes, is it? No, Kyle's inside. Yeah, Kyle is there on the edge of the square. It's Conor Staff, yeah, who had those couple of opportunities. He's the man that's receiving treatment. Interesting what Kildimo will do with Kyle Hayes. So far, John, they've opted to leave him inside there, bring him just as far as the 45-65 is the furthest he's come out.
Yeah, they'll be wanting to keep him in there as long as they can, Liam, because we all know, we see it at every level Kyle has played at, that when he gets possession things happen, and certainly from Kildimo Pallaskenry's point of view, they'll need him in and around that area for as long as they can. As I said, if things aren't going for them, they'll be very happy to leave him there right now, but if things aren't going for them later in the game, they'll certainly move him out.
Well, here's an opportunity now for Liam Griffin to put Kildimo Pallaskenry back into the lead with this 65. He picks it and strikes it. Looks to be a good hit of a ball, but it's just tailed to the right hand side and wide. Another wide for Kildimo Pallaskenry. The wides count beginning to mount for both sides now. Valerie?
Yeah, I think it's 5. I have 5 for Kildimo Pallaskenry and I have 7 for Mungret at this stage. It's been 10 minutes since anyone scored as well, Liam. So you think in a county final that there'd be a bit more bite to the game.
Cian O'Brien looking to right that one, sends that one in, dropping it inside. Pat Begley puts up his hand, wins possession of it, turns and strikes. It hits the upright, believe it or not, and goes to the left hand side and wide. So we can make it 11 minutes now, I think, since somebody last scored. As play resumes with the puck out, we started off so well in terms of scores coming thick and fast. They've dried up in the last few minutes since the water break, as this one brought forward now by Conor Hewell. Plays this one forward inside, and Mungret come away with this one again, but defence is on top again for Kildimo Pallaskenry. The pass is popped back. That one was by Tony McCarthy. Launched clear though by Kildimo Pallaskenry. Mungret gather possession of it back there on the edge of the semicircle. The pass has a bit too much on it on this near side. Conor Hewell, well, he'd have needed a step ladder. He's not a small man himself, but he'd have needed a step ladder to get to that one, and it's come out on this near side for Pallaskenry.
Yeah, it has, Liam. And Barry O'Connell, over the years, if anyone's played against Barry O'Connell or seen him in any level of action, is well capable of putting this one over the bar. Opts for the pass this time.
Goes down that far side of the field. That's brilliantly won there by Conor Staff, or Darren O'Connell I should say, and Darren O'Connell has been fouled. The referee has awarded a free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and an opportunity for them now to go into the lead. And Liam Griffin is going to take this one from that far side of the field, pretty much in line with the right hand upright, about 35 maybe 40 yards out from the goal, and an opportunity for Kildimo Pallaskenry to take the lead again. 24 and a half minutes played in the opening half of the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Final of 2020, as this one picked and struck by Liam Griffin between the uprights. There you go, Valerie, you were looking for a score. We've gotten one.
We've got one about 12 minutes later, I think, at this stage, yeah, and that's Liam's third point of today's game. I don't know if he'll be too happy, because he's kind of been hit and miss with his frees, and they have been quite in front of the goals.
Puck out, sent down the centre of the field again. The breaking ball won by Kildimo Pallaskenry. It just scooted out there and won by Larkin O'Leary as he plays this one towards John Chalk. And Chalk looks up for the option. He's the freedom of the LIT Gaelic grounds in front of him as he launches this one forward up towards Kyle Hayes. In there as well was Darren O'Connell, breaking behind both of them. O'Connell has the ball in his hand, bounces out of it. There's a Hurley on a heel there by the sounds of it, and a couple of flicks going in there as here comes Michael Mullins. Mullins under pressure, lays this one away, launches it forward up towards the opposite 21-yard line. Back there goes Peter Nash to win possession of this one for Kildimo Pallaskenry towards his midfield partner Tony McCarthy. Now down the far side towards Larkin O'Leary. O'Leary under pressure, tight towards the sideline, dropping it inside. Darren O'Connell out in front of his man, lays it back as far as Kyle Hayes. Turns, strikes this one, does Kyle Hayes, and sends it in between the uprights. Super score from Kyle Hayes. Just shortened the grip in the hurley, showed his experience, and puts it between the uprights, and Kildimo Pallaskenry 2 to the good.
Yeah, another fine effort from Kyle there, but it's noticeable in the last couple of minutes, Liam. Kildimo Pallaskenry with that sideline cut from Barry O'Connell into Darren O'Connell. Darren again central to creating that for Kyle, just starting to get to grips with the game.
Puck out won by Pat Begley. Begley looking for an instant response as he strikes that one in and sends it over the crossbar. Despite the protestations of John Chalk, the point is registered on the scoreboard, and we're back to a 1-point game. And after there been a lull of about 12 minutes, Valerie, we've had 3 points in the space of 2 minutes?
3 points in 2 minutes, and I think they obviously feed off the other team getting a score, because they want to bite back eventually. But that was very questionable from Pat Begley below. I'm not even sure the umpires knew what to give him that score.
Ball has come out over this near stand sideline. It's going to be a line ball in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and an opportunity for them. The antics on the sideline, I suppose that it's all heightened, John. You know, you think managers are maybe that extra bit animated, but maybe they're always that animated, but the crowd have just drowned them out up to now. But anyway, Luke O'Keefe's line ball down this near side. It's gone right out over this near stand sideline and gone for a line ball in favour of Mungret St. Paul's, just away to our left hand side. But interesting times of that, there is no doubt. Patsy Coffey just making his way out down beneath us to tell everybody to calm themselves down on the sideline. He won't get too flustered anyway of that, there is for sure.
No fear of Patsy being flustered about anything, Liam.
Here comes the line ball then for Mungret as they strike this one. Conor Hewell, he's a nice calming influence now on the sideline as Patsy, as this ball is played forward by Michael Mullins, dropping inside towards O'Brien again, who tries to get the ball into his hand, breaks away from him, but it's his opposite corner forward, Niall Mulcahy. Mulcahy just couldn't control it on the stick as he was going forward. Taken away and won though by Owen Mulcahy, into the hand for Mulcahy, gets a shoulder, goes through, plays the ball across the centre. Vital flick there. It had to be from Barry O'Connell, but the referee was playing an advantage. I think it's going to be a free. The free going in favour of Mungret. A little bit of pushing and shoving breaking out as well inside there. It's just beginning to get a bit lively, John.
It is, yeah, Liam. It's great to see, because I think, let's be honest, the opening quarter and then 5 minutes after the water break were very, very disappointing. Just starting to get a bit lively. Once it gets a bit lively, the hurling will improve, no doubt.
Referee has gone in to have a chat with his umpire inside just to see what exactly has happened. But he's happy enough that the free is going to be awarded in favour of Mungret, and an opportunity for them now to level things up. Valerie?
Yeah, an opportunity and a great one at that. I mean, look, you couldn't get any closer for Paul O'Brien now to take this opportunity. But as you mentioned, that flick from Barry O'Connell just there a few moments ago was unreal.
Here it comes. I'd imagine he's going to pop this between the uprights. Paul O'Brien, certainly from the way he's standing, it looks as though he's going to strike it happily enough between the uprights, and the goal away to our right hand side does exactly that. Does O'Brien. We're level again as we approach almost the half-hour mark here in the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship Final. No separating Mungret St. Paul's and Kildimo Pallaskenry at this moment in time. Puck out, sent down the far side. Kyle Hayes just couldn't get onto it first time. Might break towards Barry O'Connell, which it does. Along the sideline he goes. He was at one end of the field a couple of seconds ago, and he has scored an unbelievable score from that far sideline. That is without doubt score of the game, John.
Brilliant stuff from Barry O'Connell. Look, Liam, we all know what Barry O'Connell is capable of. He was centre back in the Limerick 21s team that won the All-Ireland 2015. Hasn't worked out for him at senior level since then, but he's a fine club player, one of the best club players around at any grade, and just showing exactly what he can do right there.
Patsy Coffey has told us there's 4 additional minutes as Cian O'Brien strikes this one in the first additional minute between the uprights, and we're level again. 8 points apiece. 4 additional minutes to be added on in the opening half, and we are level. No separating these two sides again. We don't want half time to come just quite yet, because things are beginning to liven up as Tony McCarthy plays this ball forward. Inside it breaks away from the danger man Paddy Hartigan on this occasion. Off towards Michael Mullins beneath us. Mullins gets the hand pass away, and Mungret have a man further up the field. That man is Owen Mulcahy. Mulcahy in possession of it. Little bit of pulling and dragging going on off the ball. The ball has come out over this near stand sideline and gone for a line ball. The line ball going in favour of Mungret down here beneath us, but it's beginning to liven, Valerie.
Yeah, look, I think that's what we needed, because we did mention, I think the water break really kills the game. It's just such a pity it has to happen, because you could see they were having, you know, it was a great game in the first 50 minutes. The water break came, there was such a lull. Now it's livened up and it's nearly time for half time, so you don't even want this half to end at this stage. It's getting so fiery.
Line ball for Paul O'Brien on this near side. We said on the opposite side of the field that Barry O'Connell is well able to strike line balls. Let's see about Paul O'Brien. He's well able to strike them too. There's prime example, going to drop all the way in. Pat Begley put up the love, but it breaks away from him. Inside there to win possession of it come Kildimo Pallaskenry as they bring this one away. The cool head inside there brought this one towards the 45. That's Conor Staff from one end of the field to the other. He's a name that we've mentioned quite a lot in this opening 30 odd minutes of the game so far. The ball breaks kindly, fortuitously into the hand of Cahill Downs. Plays this one near side of the field, couldn't get onto it. Paddy Hartigan away from him, and in he goes to try and win it back again, and Shane Barry has possession of it under pressure away from him. Mungret St. Paul's come away with this one. Referee watches closely as again on his hands and knees Shane Barry is on there trying to win possession of it. The referee has just decided eventually that he's going to throw it in between a couple of players just on the 45-yard line. In she goes, picked up there by Rory Duff, lays the hand pass across, and now it's Conor Hewell who comes away with it under pressure from 3 Mungret men, or Kildimo men. The ball was thrown according to the Mungret management. It breaks inside towards Pat Begley. His effort is poor. It's going to the right. The goalkeeper is going to keep it in play though, John Chalk, and he's going to restart play up as far as Peter Nash on the edge of the semicircle. Opts to drive this one 80-90 yards down the field. Breaks over the head inside there of Darren O'Connell. In there trying to win it is Paddy Hartigan. Taken away from him though, and Ronan Kirby has possession of it from Mungret. Eventually can't get it into the hand though. He's lost the hurley. Was he being pulled back? Referee says play away as Barry O'Grady. It was that laid that one off, and eventually the clearance completed 80 yards down the field to where the movement started. That's Tony McCarthy. His pass has too much on it for Cahill Downs. Mistakes aplenty on both sides as Rory Duff pops this one towards the far side of Michael Mullins. Mullins back towards Cian O'Brien, the captain, trying to spill out of space as he strikes this one in, but again into the hand of the goalkeeper. Oh, John Chalk lost it and it rolled backwards, but he did well to recover it just in the nick of time. That John on chalk, because that could have been one that he'd have nightmares over. Was that ball thrown? Certainly, says the Kildimo Pallaskenry management team. Under pressure of Mungret, they get it away. Conor Hewell lays it off near side of the field. It's almost like a carry-on film that we're watching here now as the ball is going forward here in towards almost the end line. It's picked up inside there. Paul O'Brien, he's lost possession of it, and Kevin O'Connell has it now. And O'Connell for Kildimo Pallaskenry lays it back as far as Luke O'Keefe, and O'Keefe launches this one clear. 3.5 minutes, almost 4 of the stoppage time gone. The ball eventually goes dead on this near side of the field for a line ball, and the referee has had enough of Natal O'Grady, and he's going to have a chat with him now and just tell him to cool the jets.
Yeah, Natal has been really giving John O'Halloran an awful time in front of us here, and he's just had enough, as you mentioned, Liam. Maybe a bit over the top from Natal. Might be justified in some of it, of course, but the referee has a game to be dealing with. He doesn't need it from the sideline as well. Just to be said, we've been critical of the shooting at times here. Trojan work from both defences, has to be said as well.
Yeah, Barry O'Connell's line ball drops inside towards the 21-yard line. Back there to win possession of it, Liam Harrington. The referee has said that will do for the opening 34 minutes and 16 seconds in the LIT Gaelic grounds. It's as you were when we started. There's no separating the two sides at the moment. The puff of smoke emerges from the generator on the right hand side as the floodlights will be turned on for the second half. We'll have light for the second 30 minutes, but the first 30 minutes has finished. No separating Kildimo Pallaskenry and Mungret. They're level at 8 points apiece. We'll take a short break. We'll be back with analysis in just a moment.
Hi, I'm Mike Casey, Limerick Senior Hurler. I'm here today in Lions in Limerick Ford store. I'm going to be talking to you about the brand new Ford Focus. This is the new generation Ford Focus. The exterior design has been sculpted to create a shape that's both athletic and aerodynamic, much like myself. Not only does it look like a boss, but it's equipped with the new Ford Co-Pilot 360. It does everything from reading the speed signs ahead and adjusting your cruise control. There are up to 7 different driving modes, including normal, eco, sport, comfort, eco comfort, slippery and trail. So whatever the conditions, you can adjust, just like we have as a team. Auto beam will dim your headlights when it detects oncoming traffic, which stops you dazzling anyone else on the road. The blind spot uses radar sensors, so if there's a car in the blind spot, an orange light will display on your door mirror. There's no blind spots with us on the field. The new Ford Focus offers you in-car Wi-Fi with 4G, leaves you start your engine from your phone, and tells your phone where you parked, which is great for when you're travelling around the country when you're supporting Limerick. A warm welcome awaits you today, just like I got in Lions of Limerick. Thank you for taking this time to watch this video. Please like and share and call into Lions of Limerick for a demo drive. #Lions Supporting Sport. Hi, I'm Mike Casey, Limerick Senior Hurler.
Welcome back to the LIT Gaelic grounds, where we're at half-time in the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Final. 8 points apiece. And John, we were just saying there, half-time probably has come at the wrong time for both sides, because it was just beginning to take flight again.
Yeah, you drama on the field, you drama off the field as well, Liam. Look, it's as even as we expected it to be. You know, maybe the hurling isn't at the highest quality we expected. But look, both defences, that's the last point I was making just before half-time. Really Trojan defending, putting the bodies on the line. Maybe getting away with a few little tips off the ball as well, but all part of it in final day. Look, both teams will be relatively happy. Neither team has gotten away from the other. Level 5 times, just shows how tight it is.
Valerie, you were saying there, as John said, level 5 times in that opening half. It's a toss of a kind between them at the minute.
It really is, and you know, both sides are playing their best. You can see that, and you can see why they're both in the final as well, Liam. But it's so hard to call. I know we both did call it at the start, but I don't know. Like, I think we could be heading to extra time, as you said. It's so hard to separate them, and they're just so hyped up. You can see how driven both sides are, I think, and that just shows in the defending, as you mentioned. Both sides are defending absolutely unbelievable out there. They are just absolutely on top of the ball. They're hunting in packs, like.
A couple of key points in that opening half. I suppose Paul O'Brien on the Mungret side is their main man in terms of frees from a scoring point of view. On the other side of it then, you see Liam Griffin a couple of wides that he'll be disappointed with. I presume Kildimo Pallaskenry may just be the happier of the two maybe at half-time, John, given the fact that they've had those few wides, scoreable wides.
Probably. Mungret have had 7 or 8 wides, I think it was what Valerie called it a while ago. Yeah, they will be. Liam Griffin, you know, he had a couple, one early bad miss, but the other one was long range. They have the greater spread of scorers as well. Kildimo Pallaskenry, Barry O'Connell really thundering into the game the last 10 or so minutes. But like I said again, it's as you mentioned maybe before the game, Liam, the goal is going to be crucial. If someone can get it, a 3-point lead in this game could be huge.
We nearly had a goal, Valerie.
I know, and oh my God, I know. Sometimes you'd even question, I know we're far away from it here, but I thought it was just about on that line, and I think he was very lucky to have stopped it, because if that went in, it would have just been a disaster, because it would have been a mistake.
Yeah, and finals, you never want to see one or big moments like that. You just don't want to see happen in finals, but something like that, though, John, could very well turn this game on its head.
Yeah, exactly, it could, Liam, and as we said, I haven't played in goals a lot. It's the last thing you want to see is a keeper making a mistake that could cost his team a county final, especially someone like John Chalk, who's around so long for Kildimo. And then when the clubs joined Kildimo Pallaskenry, I played against him many a time. No truer a clubman will you find than John, but we hope it doesn't lead to a mistake for either side to win this championship, but it could very well come to that.
From a Mungret point of view, though, they'll be happy they've held Kyle Hayes scoreless. 1 point.
He's 2 points at this stage. Yeah, Kyle has 2 points, but we were mentioning they will be happy, because it is hard to keep someone so tall and so big out of the game, you know. And they have been quite determined to keep him quite as well. But Mungret, I think they will be, as you mentioned, Kildimo will be the happier too, because they have 5 in play and Mungret only have 3. So you know you can't be relying on frees either on big days like this.
And that is the thing, John. It's the spread of scorers. Ultimately that will come down, but Mungret on the other side of it will look at it to the rest of their forwards and say, we've only got a couple of you on the score sheet, we need more from the rest of you.
Up until the semi-final last week, the majority, I think it was 90% of the scores from Mungret all season had come down to Paul O'Brien. Last week against Glenroe they reversed that trend. The two Mulcahy's scored 5 points between them. They had other scorers, I think it was Conor Lennon, and come off the bench to score 2 points in the final stages. They'll be looking for the likes of that. Pa Begley has got 1, he's had a couple of other half chances or so. You know, they will be looking for other players. Their 3 men in the half back line scored last week, Conor Helliwell, Brian Barry and Liam Harrington, so they're capable of it, just need to step up to the mark.
Who's going to win it from here?
I'm still saying Mungret, just.
I'm still going to say Kildimo. I just think they have that bit better momentum behind them. I really do.
I'm still going to go with the draw. Extra time, of course, will come, and if that is to be the case, we will have extra time here this evening. But you wouldn't write it off as just look at the Mungret team down beneath us in their huddle again, getting ready for that second half, and Kildimo Pallaskenry just having a word with their management as well. Just a word about the management, and I suppose we mentioned it there just before half time. Natal just getting a speaking to by the referee. That can work one of 2 ways with a team, can't it?
I think Natal knows exactly what he's doing there, Liam. He's a man who's been around the block many times. You mentioned his involvement as Patrick Swell's coach. Okay, it didn't go for them last night in the senior championship, but Natal knows what he's doing. Where on the other side of things, Shawnee Barry is a lot more relaxed, calm, very deliberate in what he says to the team. Maybe where Liam Cronin is the man who does the balling and rolling for Mungret. But look, both men have a huge part to play, not only at half time here, at the water break as well, and we've seen in both games, and in any game throughout this truncated season, the water breaks do play a huge part.
Well, you're seeing the Kildimo Pallaskenry team there in shot on there, just having a chat amongst themselves. Mungret have split. The referee is out for the second half as well, and just as I say it, Kildimo Pallaskenry emerge from their huddle as well, so we're pretty much ready to rock and roll them for the second half. What is going to lie in store? 30 or so minutes ahead of us to decide the destiny of the 2020 Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship. And since its inception, Valerie, this competition has been probably the highlight. I don't mean to say this now in disrespect to any other championship, and I'm sure going to get a bit of grief for it, but it's probably the most enjoyable championship that we've had, particularly over the last couple of years, given the structure of it. Maybe not this year, but the last couple of years.
No, yeah, you're right, and I think with such, I know that Mungret want their chance to come again, you know, and we mentioned that they've been chomping at the bit for the last few years with their underage, and Kildimo as well just want to right the wrong of last year.
Well, we're underway again, and it's scrappy around the middle of the field. The ball was thrown, says the referee, by the Mungret man. It's going to be a free, and the Mungret man there in possession of it was Owen O'Doherty. The referee has awarded a free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and an opportunity for them early doors, John.
It is, yeah, and Nathaniel O'Grady, then we're talking about influences. One of the things he was talking about towards John O'Halloran throughout that first half was Mungret's throwing of the ball as he saw it. Maybe planted a seed of doubt in the referee's mind, and first possession of the half comes to a free.
It sure does. And here is the opportunity then for this free. Going to be taken inside, just barely inside the own half, as this one is struck by Liam Griffin. That is far better. It's in and it's over the crossbar. And that's just the confidence booster that he'll want, and one that'll lift the team as well, Valerie.
No, a huge confidence boost, and I think he needed that as well, just because maybe he had a talking to at half time going, if you do have any more misses, we're going to have to take you off him. So maybe he just wanted to write that as well.
One between them. Kildimo Pallaskenry lead by that single solitary point, as the ball with Kyle Hayes, who's now out around the middle of the field, lays this one back as far as Cahill Downs, launching this one inside. Oh, might work inside there on this occasion as they go forward. Here's an opportunity. Ball taken away out of the hand though of Darren O'Connell as he was going forward with it. He'd done all the right things in terms of winning possession of it, but just couldn't hold on to it. Ball played up the field, well intercepted there by Tony McCarthy, but couldn't get possession of it at the second opportunity, and the ball is now with Conor Halliwell down that far side of the field for Mungret, very tight towards the sideline from the 65, dropping it inside towards the 21-yard line, breaking behind pretty much everybody inside there. Back there was Kevin O'Connell. He didn't get to it. Instead, Paul O'Brien picks this one up, sends it across the centre towards Pat Begley. Begley puts up the pan, wins possession of it, goes for the shot, and there's the goal. We said the first goal was going to be key. It has gone the way of Mungret St. Paul's, and it's Pat Begley, the big man in the edge of the square, did exactly as you would expect him to do, John Keogh, and Mungret St. Paul's have the first goal of the final.
Brilliant, Liam, but as you've seen with Pat Begley, his brother before him, you put a high ball in on top of him, there's every chance he's going to beat his man to it. But was very, very cool in his finish. He didn't panic, had been fouled, took it back onto his right hand side and just placed the low one under John Chalk. Great finish and a huge boost for Mungret.
A 2-point lead then for Mungret, and well, what way will Kildimo Pallaskenry respond to that one? Because they had started the second half with the first score inside the opening minute. The referee John O'Halloran has spotted a foul back there. It's going to be a free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry. Their response now, Valerie, is going to be huge.
It has to be huge, Liam. I think, in county finals, and I think when you mentioned Patrick Begley didn't panic at all, so now this is a big moment for Kildimo Pallaskenry. They have to respond, even if it's with a point now at this stage, and get the ball up the other end of the field.
Peter Nash inside his own half gets the hand pass away as far as his midfield partner Tony McCarthy plays this one forward. Both, of course, senior football panellists on the Limerick senior football team of the season past. Plays this one down that far side of the field, very tight towards the sideline. Well kept in play though by Mungret, as this one from Michael Mullins is played forward again in towards Paul O'Brien. Breaking this one down, out he comes, wins possession of it. That's well won by Paul O'Brien, goes for the score himself, does O'Brien. That'll be a huge score, but it's tailed to the right hand side and wide. Another wide for Mungret, still a 2-point lead 4 minutes into the second half.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that one again with Paul Liam. He had more options than he needed. He needed to find the options that were around him. There were plenty of them, and just off balance over the shoulder, the likelihood of that going over the bar was fairly slim, but from Mungret's point of view, he's getting on the ball a lot. He's gotten the ball 2 or 3 times in the second half. Of course, gave the pass for the goal.
Barry O'Connell has a line ball. We're in a right position to watch this, and I'd be surprised if this didn't float between the uprights, as here it comes from Barry O'Connell. He'll be disappointed with that after he getting about 40 yards of a drive on it. It goes in and it goes over the crossbar. It mightn't have gone direct, but the result is what they wanted. Paddy Harrington with the point for Kildimo Pallaskenry, and we're back to 1. We said they needed the next score, Valerie. They got it.
Yeah, they did get it, and I think that ball, I know Barry was probably going for it himself, but just dropped short lightly, but it worked out from the end, and that's what Kildimo Pallaskenry just needed to do.
Hartigan, of course, Paddy Hartigan with that point for Kildimo Pallaskenry. Breaking ball down here beneath us. Larkin O'Leary across the centre it goes, and here now from Peter Nash as he picks this one from the 65, launches it forward inside towards Hartigan again. Can't win possession of it on that occasion, and instead it's won by Conor Flahive, who plays this one towards that far side of the field. Over there to win possession of it, Owen O'Doherty. O'Doherty heading forward towards the attacking 45-yard line. Still going O'Doherty. This will be a huge score for Mungret if he can get it, but it goes to the right and wide.
Yeah, just unlucky from Owen O'Doherty there, Liam. He'd made a brilliant run with the ball. Just good defending again though from the Kildimo Pallaskenry player. I think it was Barry O'Connell chased him down. If you look at the two of them out now, they're both knackered after that little run between them. But good work from Owen O'Doherty. Barry just forced a bit wide, and that was the ending of the shot from there.
John Chalk's puck out was towards Kyle Hayes on this near side. The Mungret St. Paul's bench down here beneath us thought that it should be a line ball for Mungret. Linesman on this near side having absolutely none of it as the line ball is taken by Shane Barry, dropping inside there, broken down in there again towards that is Paddy Harrington. I keep calling him Harrington. Paddy Harrington, the golfer. Of course he's not. Hartigan, of course, down that far side of the field, and it's won over there by Peter Nash. Pops this ball back as far as Tony McCarthy, and McCarthy plays this ball up the centre of the field, but it's cut out back there. And this one is gathered right in the halfway line as Mungret play this one forward. Pat Begley finds himself out around the 65-yard line. Unfamiliar territory perhaps for him. Plays it back now as far as Liam Harrington towards that far side, towards Niall Mulcahy. Does well to keep it in play. Does exceptionally well because it's worked out for Mungret as they play this one forward, but cut out back there now, and an opportunity as Cian Hayes pops this one towards this near side of the field. And again they come forward with Sean Barry. Lays this one near side towards Larkin O'Leary, and O'Leary picks this one and strikes it across the centre. Nobody at home from a Kildimo point of view, and instead it's Conor Halliwell that plins it near side of the field. Kildimo Pallaskenry picking this one up. The possession loose from both sides now as O'Connell's ball is played inside. The referee has said Hartigan was fouled, and it's going to be a free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and this one 45 yards out near side of the field, and an opportunity for the levelling score of the game, Valerie.
Yeah, level. I feel like we're constantly saying it's level at this stage, Liam, but it is an opportunity for Liam Griffin here to take his chance, and you'd hope after getting a great start to the first half he won't be too rocky taking this one.
He's lining this free up here is Liam Griffin. Striking this one from the 45-yard line. He's hit this one well, has he? It's just about crept inside the right-hand upright. There was a brief moment of hesitation from everybody inside because there was a bit of spin in it, a bit like Padraig Harrington's tee shots would be. But that went to the right and went over the crossbar. Point given, John. Level again.
Level again, Liam. 6 times they're levelled. Great response for Kildimo Pallaskenry after a concession of that goal as Pat Begley gets back on it for Mungret. Tit for tat yet again.
It sure is. Pat Begley with that point for Mungret. Instant response for them as we're going to have a substitution now down here beneath us. Brendan Giltinan is coming on the field of play for Mungret. That is the change that's been made. And coming off down here beneath us is Owen Mulcahy. So that is the substitution. Brendan Giltinan on. Off goes Owen Mulcahy. First change of the county final, Valerie, to Mungret.
Yeah, do you know what? Maybe you just need a bit of fresh legs. I know that he's been handed a nice pack as he's been coming off the field, so maybe he's a bit of a niggle or maybe he's just tired, but there's no harm having fresh legs in there.
Ball cut out by Sean Barry for Kildimo Pallaskenry. Can't win the ball back himself though. Mungret St. Paul's have it there. Rory Duff right on the halfway line. He's been fouled, says the referee. It's going to be a free going in favour of Mungret and an opportunity for them. And you see by the delight in them there, John, when they won that free, just what it means that they have an opportunity to push 2 points in front.
Could be a big one here for Paul O'Brien. He's been a bit hit and miss with his free so far, but bringing on a guy like Brendan Giltinan, Liam, is huge for Mungret St. Paul's. Very experienced forward. Looks to be operating around midfield or maybe at centre forward. Like bringing him onto the team won't weaken him in any way whatsoever, but a huge chance for Paul O'Brien.
Kildimo Pallaskenry are going to make a change as well. Rory Maher, who was named to start at full forward, is going to come on in just a moment, but not before this free is taken by Paul O'Brien on the centre of the field. He strikes this one in. That looks to be good. Oh, it hits the upright and comes back down. Pat Begley is first to react to it, gathers possession of it. Nobody inside there to offer him support though. He eventually plays this ball back. It might work out inside there. That looked to be a wild pull. It was, says the referee, by Brendan Giltinan on Peter Nash, I think it was. The free is awarded in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and they take this one quickly, send it up towards Kyle Hayes. Over his head it goes. Mungret St. Paul should be favoured to gather possession of it, which they do, and play it again near side of the field. Liam Harrington in possession of it, looks up for the options, has plenty of space, does Harrington. Plays this one inside towards O'Brien again, through his hand on this occasion. Kevin O'Connell picks up possession of it for Kildimo Pallaskenry and launches this one back towards the attacking 45-yard line. Breaks behind everybody, and there to pick up possession of it is Ronan Kirby. Pops the pass towards Conor Halliwell down that far side, loses possession of it, and his footing as well as Barry O'Connell picks this one up, and O'Connell strikes that one from the far side. They're absolutely disgusted, or Mungret, not surprised, because we have a level game, 1-9-12, and Barry O'Connell picked up possession of that one and did exceptionally well there, John.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from Barry O'Connell. Liam just worked very, very hard to win possession. Conor Helliwell kind of swung for that one off balance, and his pocket was picked by Barry O'Connell as Kildimo Pallaskenry make another sub.
Rory Maher has come on, as I say, named to start, and they've taken off Liam Griffin, their free taker, but we'll wait and see what way that'll work now. They have perhaps other options, no doubt, as the ball across the centre. Beautiful flick off one by Conor Staff as he comes forward with this one. Held up though, and Mungret in there tried to win possession of it, battle on for possession. A bit of a scrum breaks out inside there, just shy of the 65-yard line. Kyle Hayes putting pressure on the Mungret man, who gets the pass away towards this near side of the field, and up goes the ball towards the attacking 65. Back there to win possession of this one. Up the centre it's played. Here's an opportunity as Paddy Hartigan strikes that one, dropping in around the 21. Might break in there towards Sean Barry. Off on that far side, this opportunity is sent in and sent over the crossbar. Another score there for Barry O'Connell, a lead score for Kildimo Pallaskenry.
Yeah, I think that's Barry's 4th point of today's game, and you mentioned just a few moments ago it was Barry that had that flick over at the far side, and he's just shown off at this stage, I feel.
He's everywhere. He's now operating in or around the centre forward position as the puck out sent down that far side of the field. Kildimo Pallaskenry have gone into a 1-point lead here, 13 points to a goal and 9 as we approach almost 12 minutes of the opening half. Mungret are going to make another change down here beneath us. Referee, his attention just being drawn to it, and Patsy Coffey is about to hold up the board to say that number 20, that is Conor Linehan, is going on, and it's going to be Cian O'Brien, the captain, who's going to come off the field of play for Mungret. That is the substitution. You can see the heavily strapped leg there of Cian O'Brien as he makes his way off down beneath us, obviously coming into the game carrying an injury. They've gotten what they can out of him.
Yeah, he missed the semi-final as well, Liam. Has struggled for the last number of seasons with a few cruciate ligament injuries. The fact that he's even out in the field is a great positive for Mungret.
What a block down that far side of the field. It was beautiful to see. Sean Barry it was that made the block down as the ball down the far side. It might end up for an out as this is Paul O'Brien along the sideline. Plays it inside now. Well won inside there by Pat Begley. He can do stick work as well as controlling with the hand. Picks that one up in possession of it. Flicks it back over the head, but it's picked up back there by Kildimo Pallaskenry. Not clean in the hand yet though. And the ball into the arms of Niall Mulcahy. Passes near side of the field towards Conor Linehan. Linehan striking this one in under pressure. Sends it in and sends it inside the left hand upright and between the uprights. And we have that famous word yet again, level game, here at the LIT Gaelic grounds. Not for the first time, probably won't be for the last time we'll say it either, as the puck out won by Darren O'Connell down the far side, looking to put Kildimo Pallaskenry. Oh, the upright has been hit yet again. That's about the 4th time in the game between the two sides that they've hit the uprights, and now Mungret come away with this one. It's Rory Duff brings this away towards the 65-yard line. His ball played inside, cut out there by Kildimo Pallaskenry, and Peter Nash was blocked down as this one goes in and over the crossbar, and it was Brendan Giltonan who capitalised on the half block / hook, and that is a 1-point lead now for Mungret.
Yeah, it is, Liam. Just noticeable to see in the last couple of minutes the two substitutions for Mungret making an impact. Conor Linehan and Brendan Giltonan the second time around. But as I mentioned earlier, Linehan came off the bench, scored 2 vital points against Glenroe last week. First touch of the ball there was a point, followed up by Giltonan's fine strike to put him back ahead.
Line ball in favour of Mungret on this near side of the field. It's going to be taken by Brian Barry. There was just a little bit of treatment being given there to Brian Barry in the half-back line, but Liam Harrington is going to take this line ball now for Mungret, which he does, and cuts it towards this near side. Again, it's one there now by Mullins, very tight towards the sideline, strikes it in, but it goes to the right-hand side and wide. It was a difficult angle, Val.
Yeah, it was a difficult angle, and I think that is their now 11th wide of the game, Liam.
Will they come back to haunt them as Kyle Hayes wins possession of this one? Hayes from this near sideline. Oh, that'll be some score. Oh, that's class. That is just sheer class from Kyle Hayes. Picked up possession of it. You'd watch that one over and over and over again. What a way to go to the water break. Level terms, 14-1-11. What a score.
Just words can't come close to describing how good that was, Liam. Look, you want a guy like Kyle to step up when you're in a bit of trouble or at any time during the game, and when he can produce something like that, which we all know he can do, but with 3 fellas around him, and he looks like he's going to get hooked and still has the temerity to try the shot and then to put it straight over the black spot on the run as well. Stunning score, and 9 times level now.
Level at the start, obviously. Level at the first water break. Level at half-time, Val. Level at the second water break. There's a pattern emerging.
There is a pattern emerging, and I just feel like people at home will be sick of us saying it's level, but unfortunately that's what's happening here. But it's so tight, like it's so hard to call, and I think both sides are obviously now what I can see is both sides are deserving of the win, to be honest, Liam. I don't know, I would hate to see one side lose because both are absolutely giving it their all. The defending is absolutely unbelievable there, as you mentioned, 3 fellas hanging off Kyle Hayes, and for him to produce something like that is just top class.
We said the first goal was going to be huge. Mungret got it. Kildimo Pallaskenry responded exceptionally well to it, in fairness, John. They've negated that goal and we still find ourselves level, but dare I say it, that goal could still be a huge deciding factor.
Of course it could, Liam. It came at a very, very early stage in the second half, but you have to admire Kildimo Pallaskenry's response to it. Barry O'Connell coming up with two of those points that got him back into it, and then obviously that one from Kyle as well, and a free from Liam Griffin. But I've said it now many times in commentary now, it's still anyone's game. That goal could prove vital for Mungret, but you just feel that Kildimo Pallaskenry at the momentum, they're getting their scores that bit easier. Mungret maybe having to work that bit harder with a 2-man full forward line of Pa Begley and Paul O'Brien, albeit with Paul O'Brien maybe coming out now that Conor Linehan's in, but it really is anyone's game.
Well, this is it in terms of the management. They can do very little in terms of speaking to both sets of players, and you see the Mungret management right in the middle of their huddle there. I can tell you it's the exact same in the Kildimo Pallaskenry huddle away to our left hand side here in Italo Grady, right in the middle of them, having the final few words, Valerie. Neither side wants to break from the huddle. Kildimo Pallaskenry first to do it. This is it. It's all or nothing for the next 15 minutes. The prize is huge, not just to be called the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Champions, but that huge spot in senior hurling next year.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly what these teams want. They want to be up there playing with the best, Liam, and looking at 2 of them tonight, they deserve to be up there at this stage. But this is it, there's 15 minutes. I just hope that water break will not kill that second half lull, because it did in the first half. So let's just hope we're in for a right thriller the last 15 minutes.
Well, 15 minutes left to decide it, unless we get the additional 2 periods of extra time. That, who knows what could happen. As the puck out going to resume away to our right hand side here. Conor O'Brien to resume the play following that water break. Level game, 14 points to Kildimo Pallaskenry, 1-11 to Mungret. This is it, the last 15 minutes, unless we're going for the additional extra time. As the ball sent down the centre of the field, the referee has spotted a foul back there. Peter Nash it was that ended up on his haunchers, and the referee has awarded the free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and John Chalk is coming out to take this one. John?
Yeah, he did it plenty of times over the years for Kildimo Pallaskenry. When he was a full forward or centre forward, he's done it plenty of times since he's finishing his career in goals, Liam. This, believe it or not, is regulation distance for John Chalk, with a bit of a breeze, although it's gone a fair bit, not as bad as it was earlier, I should say. Chalk, you'll be very confident of putting this one over.
He looks at the target away to our right hand side as the night sky sets here in the LIT Gaelic grounds. He's got the distance. The accuracy though has gone to the right hand side and wide, and still we remain at that famous L word. Level, 14 points to 1 goal and 11 as play resumes with the puck out away to our right hand side. Conor O'Brien strikes this one down that far side of the field. All or nothing now. Over there trying to win it was Michael Mullins. He was on this wing just a couple of minutes ago. He's now down that far wing. It's Tony McCarthy who plays this one towards the far side. Over there winning possession of this one was Conor Halliwell. Plays this one forward. Back again it goes, and Niall Mulcahy on the 65 drills this one inside. Might break. It's even too high for Pat Begley. That'll tell you how high that ball bounced inside there. As the ball is brought away now by Larkin O'Leary. Away to our left hand side. Plays it forward. Kildimo Pallaskenry through Kyle Hayes, picks up possession of it. Away goes Kyle, onto halfway, plays this one into open country inside there, into the hand. Can't win possession of it first time, has it at the second attempt. Kyle Hayes has continued his run. The referee has said that Darren O'Connell was fouled as he went through. Free going in favour of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and an opportunity from them from this near side of the field to get another point if they can, and this would be the lead score were they to get it, Val.
It would be the lead score, and I just think Darren O'Connell was very clever there to drop the head and shoulder to be able to get that free as well. To be honest, he's showing a bit of experience there as well, but this is another opportunity for them to go one step ahead.
Sean Barry as well, Liam, he won't be alien to free taking. He was their lead free taker last season as well when they got to the final. Didn't have the best of times in that final, and maybe that's why Liam Griffin was on him, but an ace free taker when he's on form.
Here it comes then for Sean Barry, and an opportunity for him. Mungret going to make another change in just a moment, but we'll watch this one as Sean Barry crouches over this one, looks to the target to the right hand side, picks this one and strikes it. It's gone inside the upright, and Kildimo Pallaskenry are back into the lead, a lead that they'll hope to hold for another 8.5 plus minutes to get them to the promised land. Brian Barry is the man to make way for Mungret, and on is coming number 19, that's Brian O'Mara. So Brian O'Mara is on, and off is gone Brian Barry, and he's limped off away to our right hand side, heavily bandaged right knee as well, so he's made his way off too. Third change of the night from a Mungret point of view. The opening two changes made a big impact. Kildimo Pallaskenry leading here by 15 points to 1 goal and 11. Kildimo Pallaskenry in possession of it. Kyle Hayes now back in his own almost half back line, holding up possession of it. They look for him for leadership. Kyle striking this one in from a long way out, but it goes to the right hand side and wide. Mention leadership, that's one of that he won't be happy with, John.
No, he won't, Liam, but the talent involved to even get the shooting chance in the first place. Look, he's going to come to the ball again here. Leadership is the word, and he's full of it at the moment as Barry O'Connell takes it on again.
Off to Barry O'Connell, Hayes and O'Connell, two experienced heads as Barry O'Connell puts two between them. Kildimo Pallaskenry lead by 2 points here at the Gaelic grounds. 16 points to Kildimo Pallaskenry, 111 to Mungret. Experience is going to be the word from here to the end, Valerie.
Yeah, it is, and I think Kyle and even Barry teaming up there, just a few moments ago, and Barry been able to get his 5th point of today's game. It's just he's really been outstanding, the two of them.
Rory Duff wins possession of it for Mungret. He's been fouled. Natalo Crady not happy at all with that decision, but free going in favour of Mungret, and an opportunity here for them. And Paul O'Brien, who hasn't had an opportunity in a while, to put just one between them again.
Yeah, the last one he hit, Liam, was from the 65, I think, hit the post with it. Look, it's regulation enough for Paul, we'd imagine, from probably 50 metres or so with the angle, but it's a must-win score for him. We're in the last 7 or 8 minutes of this game. Mungret St. Paul's need something quickly.
Here it comes from Paul O'Brien. It's in and it's over the crossbar. It's another one for Mungret St. Paul's. It's another one for Paul O'Brien, and it's just one between them now. 16 points to 1 goal and 12. Puck out. Kyle Hayes puts up the hand, wins possession of it. 2 Mungret men on him. Manages to play this one towards the far side. Great vision there to pick out, but just couldn't keep it. Cahill Downs control it the first time. He's done well to keep it in play. At what expense though? It's held up across on that far side. A bit of support arrives, but it's Conor Flive that plays this one away, but only as far as Kildimo Pallaskenry. And this effort coming in here from Conor Staff, who sends it in and sends it over. A 3-point lead, and I don't think any team has led by 3 points in this game so far. It's just 2 points in fact. 17 to 112. Getting carried away with myself. 17 points to 1 goal and 12. 17-15, 2 between them, Val.
2 between them is right, and I think it's been a while, but here's Mungret's chance to bite back.
Opportunity,
like
Conor Lenihan striking that one in, but it's left and wide. Conor Lenihan scored 1 point after coming on as a substitute, left and wide on that occasion. Puck out already on its way from John Chalk down to Kyle Hayes, near side of the field. Doesn't win possession of it, very tight towards the sideline, eventually into the hand of the Mungret man, very tight to the sideline, gets the hand passed away. Referee said he was fouled. It's a free for Mungret. John, just on this near sideline.
Yeah, Paul O'Brien will come back to take it again, Liam. It's a long way out. I think this one may be better dropped in and around towards Michael Mullins and Pa Begley. You know, there's a few big men in and around there. Of course, Kildimo Pallaskenry have their own ones back there as well, but Paul fancy his chances either way.
17 to 112, 2 between them. A dangerous lead, they say, in hurling as Paul O'Brien picks this from his own 65-yard line. He's hit it a fair belt. It's gone to the right-hand side and it has gone wide. Perhaps, as you say, John, might have been better, Valerie, to drop that one.
Yeah, I know, and I think there's so many wides. I have 12 on my sheet now at the moment for Mungret's wides, and this will come back to haunt them if they do lose the game, because 12 is a lot of wides.
One down the far side, Rory Maher, named to start at 14, strikes that one in and sends it over the crossbar. Now it's a 3-point game, I can safely say that. And I think, John, that's the first time there's been 3 points between them in the game.
Except for when Mungret went to goal up, Liam. I think that was only 2 points even though, so huge score that for Kildimo Pallaskenry and Natal O'Grady, who'd been relatively quiet in the opening 15-16 minutes by his standards anyway, has all of a sudden found his voice again.
A ball has gone out over the far sideline. It's a line ball for Kildimo Pallaskenry. They cheered that as if they got a score, because perhaps it could be one, because Barry O'Connell is lining this one from the far side. He's about 48 yards out from goal. You can see the angle there. Cuts this one, going to drop in around the 21-yard line. We've built him up so many times on this occasion. It might still break though. Sean Barry pops the pass away as far as Rory Maher tries to win possession of it. Being spun around inside there. Still not out of possession of it though. The slither not in the clean hand of anybody yet. Eventually it is, and it's the red jerseys that are bursting away with this one as Mungret look to bring this one clear. 3-point game, 18 points to Kildimo Pallaskenry, 1 goal and 12 to Mungret St. Paul's, and the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Championship Final for 2020. This game on Limerick GA TV with thanks to the Kirby Group, as this ball by Kyle Hayes flicked towards this near side. Beautiful catch, beautiful take by Rory Maher, and that is 4 points. Rory Maher gives the thumbs up to Kyle Hayes for the ball delivered from one side of the field to the other. One word for that, John: class.
Absolutely, Liam. Just stunning play from Kildimo Pallaskenry, who really started to hit their straps now. Glorious ball from Kyle to finish the match.
Brendan Giltanan dropping this one dangerously. Pat Begley loses his footing inside there just at the vital moment, and Kildimo Pallaskenry breathe again as they launch this one clear. A 4-point lead. Kyle Hayes pops this one out far side of the field. 2 minutes plus of stoppage time. Ball sent near side of the field, and it's Mungret who win back possession of it. Tight towards this near sideline, playing this one forward. They won't panic just quite yet. Conor Linehan looking to get onto it. Vital touch from Peter Nash to knock it out for a sideline.
Oh, like the last few moments of this game is just extremely exciting, and even though that there is 4 points in it, Mungret are really fighting till the end.
They sure are. Line ball for Mungret, near side of the field. Paul O'Brien to take this one. Opportunity for Paul O'Brien. What's he going to do with it? It's at a tight angle. It's about 25 yards out. You can see the angle there. 1 minute and 40 of normal time left. Dropping in or around. Comes out. Here's the shot. Blocked inside there. And the vital block was by Lorcan O'Leary. The shot was by Brendan Giltanan. O'Leary blocked it off towards Barry O'Connell, and O'Connell completes the clearance towards the far side. Might break towards Darren O'Connell. Does win possession of it. Tight towards that far sideline. Looks up for the option. Plays it across the centre. In there goes Rory Maher. What a man to have brought on. Loses possession of it though, and Mungret come away with this one now. Was that thrown up and caught? It was. Juggled by Owen O'Doherty. Kildimo Pallaskenry have a free, and they're beginning to feel, John Keogh, that they could get that elusive ticket to the Senior Hurling Championship next season.
It's looking very good for Kildimo Pallaskenry. Look, great ball across from Darren. It was well intercepted though by the Mungret defender, and just a little lapse in concentration from Owen O'Doherty could prove very costly as Sean Barry lines this free up.
There was murmurs, of course, when the two clubs, Kildimo and Pallaskenry, merged, that there was a bit of, I suppose we'll say a bit of a debate out that side of the world between the two clubs. They've eventually come together, and now they're only 4 minutes away from Senior Hurling Championship as Sean Barry hits that 65 between the upright. We're into stop. Well, we've about 10 seconds of normal time plus 4 minutes of stoppage time. It's a 5-point lead for Kildimo Pallaskenry, and unless Mungret get a goal, and quick, Valerie, it looks as though Kildimo Pallaskenry could be senior hurling next year.
Yeah, it does really look like it. As anyone can hear, the stand beneath us is after erupting, because I think they know that they're one step closer being promoted and winning the county final. But Mungret, you know, it's hurling after all, and anything can happen in less than 4 minutes.
Paddy Hartigan has gone off, Jack O'Keefe has gone on. That's a change for Kildimo Pallaskenry as well down beneath us. They are one step, perhaps 1 foot in the senior championship next season. They lead by 5 points. They have an opportunity from Tony McCarthy, dropping this one in around the 21-yard line, where it's won by Mungret and Conor Flahive. They have to start from well inside their own half though, and turn around this 5-point deficit that they find themselves having now. Ono Doherty pops the pass towards the far side of the field. Away they come on towards the attacking 65-yard line. Ball played inside towards the edge of the semicircle. Pat Begley can't win it first time, breaks away towards Brendan Giltanan, striking this one in. There's one back of the 5. It comes from Brendan Giltanan. It's met by almost muted silence here in the LIT Gaelic grounds. There's nobody here to witness it, bar the handful of mentors etc. that are here, but no doubt hundreds if not even thousands watching online. And well, they might be celebrating down around the parish of Kildimo and Pallaskenry this evening, but Mungret, John, won't give up just quite yet.
No, there's still a bit of time, Liam. They need a goal, they need it fast though. And look, they've plenty of players capable of doing it, but Kildimo Pallaskenry have the grip between their teeth.
They sure do. Line ball going to be taken down here. That's by Liam Harrington for Mungret. They need something, and they need something quick. It's a 4-point lead, 20 points to 1 goal and 13. Kildimo Pallaskenry on a balmy night in the Gaelic grounds, the LIT Gaelic grounds. Played forward now. Rory Maher goes forward, plays it inside towards Darren O'Connell, who's had a fine game all evening in fairness to him. O'Connell picks up possession of it. Rory Maher has continued his run inside, but this ball is sent in and sent over the crossbar. It's back to 5 again. And Kildimo Pallaskenry, surely now with 2 minutes of stoppage time left to play, are edging, creeping closer. They've almost 1.5 hands on the trophy, Valerie.
Yeah, they definitely have one hand on the trophy as well. And McCoyle on this ball, I don't know if Mungret any chance, but they have been fighting till the end. But it's just, I think Kildimo Pallaskenry are so hyped up now at this stage game, I don't think they can lose it.
Jack O'Keefe just stepped out over this near stand sideline with the schlitter in his hand. It's going to be a line ball for Mungret St. Paul's, who find themselves 5 behind, 21 to Kildimo Pallaskenry. Mungret St. Paul's 113. We said the first goal was going to be crucial, John. Just goes to show we know absolutely nothing.
Yeah, proves it, Liam, what everyone else thinks all along. What do we know about anything? We're just lucky people to be up here at the moment as Brian O'Mara plays a low one in.
He does, in towards Pat Begley. Well, it might become crucial yet. Pat Begley has been fouled on the 21-yard line. It's a free in, the free going for Mungret. They're in an awful panic to take it. It's going to be Paul O'Brien to take it. He's just having a look over here. They're telling him to put it over the crossbar. They need a goal and a couple of points, so Paul O'Brien, here he comes from the 21, picks it, goes for goal against the advice of the sideline, and well, it's tame enough and brought away by Kildimo Pallaskenry. And Barry O'Connell back on his own 45-yard line, plays it towards this near side of the field. That man Rory Maher has made a big difference since coming on, heads towards the attacking 45-yard line. Bit of space opens up in front of him, gets the hand pass away. Here's the opportunity as it's struck in from Jack O'Keefe. That is surely the insurance point from Jack O'Keefe. A little bit of pushing and dragging breaking out as well. A 6-point lead, 22 to 113, and that, John Keogh, is surely it.
You'd have to imagine now, Liam, 2 goals needed for Mungret St. Paul's to get back into this. No surprise to see a bit of jostling going on, plenty of verbals, I'd imagine, as well. 2 very close parishes too, only Ballybrown and Clarina in between the 2 parishes on that road, the old Kerry Road. So, you know, look, this is huge for Kildimo Pallaskenry, and it's very, very hard to argue when the chips are really, really there, up in the air for the game to be won. You know, it was they that have taken hold of the game, and there it is.
There is the final whistle. Kildimo Pallaskenry are the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Champions for 2020. They will play senior hurling next season. And Valerie Wheeler, you'd have to say full value for it this evening.
Full value for it as well. And as John just mentioned, and we mentioned at the start, we're very privileged to be standing up here and watching a game as this tonight. You would feel terribly sorry for Mungret, because St. Paul's, because they give their all. But look at the scenes out there now at the moment. It's, you know, it's ecstasy and it's heartbreak all at the same time, and Kildimo Pallaskenry deserving winners of it. They did tear away in the end of it, and I'm glad I called it.
Mystic Meg, we'll call you from now on. Yeah, Valerie Wheeler, our Mystic Meg, with the, well, that is a great win for Kildimo Pallaskenry. In fairness to them, they've had a great afternoon here, of that there is no doubt. They have put in a fine performance, and Kildimo Pallaskenry are the Lions of Limerick Premier Intermediate Hurling Champions for 2020. And well, there's going to be great bonfires, John, I'd say, lit on the N69 this evening, further out.
Socially distanced bonfires as well, Liam. Look, it's fantastic for them, especially after the disappointment of last year, where, let's be brutally honest, they just didn't perform in either game. Blackrock took advantage of that, and look, they're senior for a reason. But for Kildimo Pallaskenry, this is a massive, massive victory. You alluded to it in the final stages of the game. Two very, very big rival parishes making a huge, huge call to come together and join for the betterment of both clubs. There's a long way to go. Underage, they'll say themselves. Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty of people still bitter about the clubs joining, but the proof is in the pudding here today. Two clubs that have very, very much joined. You know by the celebrations, we can hear it in the background here as well. Look, fantastic for them. On the other hand of things, of Mungret St. Paul's, they've been knocking around this Premier Intermediate latter stages for a number of years, and there's no question they'll be there next year again.
They certainly will, and no doubt they'll have their day. But Valerie, tonight belongs to the club of Kildimo Pallaskenry, and as John mentioned, there was a lot of bitterness. I know back in the time when they did join up, they said their stated aim was to get, as it was back then, out of intermediate up to Premier Intermediate and then on to senior. It was a plan that many people had within the two clubs to come together. They took the gamble. It's paid off tonight.
It has paid off, and do you know what? They are deserving winners. I think looking out at the display of scores and the talent that they have in that team was absolutely outstanding. And I know the celebrations, it's just hard that family members or parents or girlfriends or wives or partners can't be here tonight to celebrate with them. But I'm sure they'll have plenty of substantial €9 meals over the next 2 days somewhere around Limerick.
I have no doubt they will. What about Mungret though? We're looking at them up here from the gantry position, and we see them heartbroken down there beneath us. Their day will come though too, Valerie.
No, it will, and I think so. Last year in the semi-finals, and making it to the final this year, and we did mention that they have been there and they've been coming up every so year, and they just need to keep going. I know it's heartbreaking today, and they don't want to hear that they did great in today's match, but you know what, they just need to keep going, because they will get there someday, because they too showed that they deserve to be here as well tonight.
They certainly did. Well, the presentation will take place very shortly down beneath us. The Kildimo Pallaskenry team, as you can see, are making their way towards the presentation area. We'll be bringing you coverage of that presentation as well. And John, as we say, probably deserving of it. You look though at the last couple of minutes, the whole way through the game, Barry O'Connell was exceptional for them, and then when they really needed it, Barry O'Connell and Kyle Hayes together.
Huge to have players like that, of that talent in your team anyway, Liam. But for them type of players in a final, when it's really there to be won, they need to stand up. And Barry O'Connell, 5 points from around centre forward midfield area, outstanding throughout. Kyle came into the game, we mentioned it in the first half, when they needed him he'd come out the field. That's exactly what he did, and what a huge influence. Not only that great score he got on the right wing before that as well, but the amount of good ball he won, great catches, the amount of ball he delivered into the forward line. Leadership, Liam, we called for it during the game. Leadership is what was needed, leadership is what they got. And my God, they're going to be a hard team to stop at senior level next year.
They certainly are. Well, they're making their presence felt down here beneath us, as you can probably hear. The chairman of the county board, John Cregan, is about to begin the presentation committee. You can see the Kildimo Pallaskenry players. There is the chairman, John Cregan. So let's have a listen to what he has to say.
pitch. You have to stay in the young men last year after a fantastic draw and replay. You went back to the drawing board, to his goal, and you have back, and your champions of 2020 go always to the Kildimo Pallaskenry. Once again, did a fantastic performance here this evening, and the officials on the sideline, the umpires, well done, many thanks. I always say, on the criticized referees, we wouldn't be able to host our games without them, so we were asking our police to the officials. Here at the Kildimo Grounds for this, the Kildimo Grounds for this is fantastic. It's a kind of we had a lot of games in the last 2 weeks here, but again, great games for the GG lads. This year's championship was very, very different. We lost spectators here this evening. We were disappointed, obviously, from them. They could not be with us to see their clubs playing in a Premier League hockey final. It wasn't an all game. We have to observe the laws, and there was a possibility to ensure that we had close stadium this evening. It's disappointing for those and difficult for those who couldn't be with us. It was also a difficult job for those people at the east-side grounds who were tasked with the job of making sure that the game would take behind closed doors. So at that end, I want to acknowledge the effort to Hayes, Conrad Kennedy, David McGinnis, and all their staff who have worked very, very hard to acknowledge that we're all with us, please. Finally, to more clubs and to all the clubs who look after this competition, we had to change the format late in the year, and we did that. It still was one of the best championships we're going to have this year, and happening for the last 2 years. We changed the format, changed the rules. We try to come back in time next year with all the clubs who look after, and particularly the Kildimo Pallaskenry and the Mungret clubs. Thank you very, very much. We wouldn't have a successful championship with the operational clubs, but we had that every club to look after with that team. So don't be an offer for there. Now, all there is for me to do at this point, when I'm going down to the microphone, is to ask Hannah representing the Lions of Limerick, to invite the Kildimo Pallaskenry captain Fridays to take the microphone off the podium and bring it back to us.
So, in a break with tradition, there'll be no handover of the cup. What will happen instead is that the sponsors, Lions of Limerick, will ask Kyle Hayes to step up to the podium to accept the trophy. Kildimo Pallaskenry, the Premier Intermediate Champions of 2020. And now the captain is going to say a few words.
The groundsman did one here, all officials here, groundskeeping, the security and the time, perfect. They did a good job keeping us warm. So next, move on to emails. Absolute savage punishment there. Down there, it's nice, dug it out, absolutely dug out the picture. So keep yourselves around with that.
So Kyle Hayes, the captain, and look at the scenes that we're seeing here at the LIT Gaelic Grounds. That's what it means to be crowned county champions. And Valerie, I suppose in moments like this we think of parents that can't be here, that are probably watching the stream wherever they're watching it. It's disappointing for many people who have given so much to clubs over the course of the year that they can't be here for the county championship final, but they'll still enjoy tonight.
No, they still will. I think it'll be very hard if you, like Mungret, facing home to families and friends, you know, and they're going to be down and out, but at least Kildimo Pallaskenry going home with something in their hands tonight. And you know what, at least the streaming is there, Liam. Could you imagine if something like this wasn't here tonight? No one would witness it. And in fairness to them, I think it's hard to celebrate in an empty stadium.
Yep.
It's just strange scenes, but they did seem to enjoy themselves.
They certainly did. Well, they're certainly enjoying themselves down there beneath us as well. And you can see the team photo that will forever become priceless. Of that there is no doubt. And Kildimo Pallaskenry, well, they will cherish this day for a long, long time to come. Of that there is no doubt. The wonderful efforts that have gone throughout the course of the season, and they have ended with victory for the Kildimo Pallaskenry club. For Mungret, I'm sure they will have another day. Of that there is no doubt. But tonight belongs to the club of Kildimo Pallaskenry. They are the Lions of Limerick, County Premier Intermediate Hurling Champions for 2020. My thanks to Valerie Wheeler and John Keogh on their commentary. It was Patsy Hall on camera work, and well done to Patsy for being down there on the sideline as well and catching that wonderful presentation. Will Buckley, who looked after us here technically as well, top class job tonight to bring all of this to you wherever you were. Hope you enjoyed it. Tonight's Kildimo Pallaskenry's night.